gotta get to the final. Take all of my idols and turn them to rivals. It's
Yo.
all about the man, the trophy is vital. Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster.
Whole lot of times they got
And their opponents, your evil geniuses!
Tell you one thing, I wasn't ready for Vansili to do the twirl, but he did it.
He committed.
Bless that man. All right, here we go. Cloud9, evil geniuses. Both teams that are currently sitting in, I would argue, the middle of the pack here in VCT Americas and trying to find ways, Doug, to punch above that weight class, get into the conversation a bit more, and start to really build up a pathway, a reasonable pathway for them to make it to Shanghai.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is a really good matchup because of the reasons that you just mentioned. I also think it's fun because I don't know that they know much about themselves at this point. I think there are so many questions that have been unanswered about what these rosters are capable of. Like, it's only been 1 week with Rooney and Moose, and you can make the argument about honeymoon period, whatever. The truth is, the stage is a honeymoon. It's 5 weeks. It's not like you have a ton of time to go through the ups and downs of what works and what doesn't, right? So maybe it is a honeymoon run. That's very okay.
And you would imagine going into this, the Cloud9 are a pretty big favorite. Just if we are going off last week, if we are going off the fact that we're looking at Lev, they beat Lev, and then Lev beat Sen. If you're doing that whole thing.
Transitive property.
Exactly. Now, I'm not saying that's the truth, but I'm saying that's, you know, kind of the face value way to look at it. And so going into this, EG are definitely quite the underdog, but I do believe that was a very different Lev that we saw last week. Cloud9 did not have to face the Lev that can beat Sentinels, right?
Yeah, I think that even though they beat a Lev that was seemingly more disconnected, I feel like that confidence plays a huge role going into this matchup. Like, both these teams, like you said, are middle of the pack. They have to work extremely hard to figure out. There's not a lot of room for error. They need to deliver.
Wyatt, you're wrong, and I disagree. And here's why.
I didn't say I believed that. I was giving a narrative.
You're still wrong. Potter, I think this team, after a weekend like that, they cook, right? They think things through, they figure out what's going on. If there's any coach that I look after a loss like last week and go, I have faith, they're gonna figure it out. I think it's Potter, and the truth is, we've also seen what EG are capable of. So I would strongly disagree with you on feeling like
I literally
Cloud9
credit EG.
are high.
We
but
agree.
you went the other way.
I was giving a narrative. I was literally providing a narrative.
I told you.
I agree with you what you're saying right now.
I disagree with that too. The truth is, I believe in EG.
Wait a minute, you can't keep doing that, Doug.
This guy's throwing stones, and he copped out. He didn't even give up pred.
See, Shazam, this is what we got to deal with. You know? It's like...
Can't change it now, man.
Stop me.
That's right. He can't change it now, but he definitely is. You're not seeing this on camera, but he is definitely changing his prediction. To what? I don't even think he knows. In any case, though, yeah, no, but you guys are right. Despite the conflict, you guys are right just about Potter and what she could potentially be bringing to the table. Coach Jimmy, what he could be bringing to the table. There is a lot here that can certainly play a factor in this game. It's not just, you know, the 10 players on the stage are always going to be those intangibles. As we jump in, though, into the agent select and we start to see what we get here for map number 1, I'm not expecting anything too crazy, but I do hope at the very very least, that for EG, why we see some cleverness because they have those players to be able to pull that stuff off.
Yeah, they showed a great game plan on attack last week. They were very good. Nature was excellent on the Viper. Lotus at this point, though, it's kind of a figured out map. It's really in Ascent territory. We just haven't acknowledged it yet.
We haven't embraced it.
Everyone's pretty much playing the exact same thing. The only difference sometimes being the initiator, even though right now, Fade, in my opinion, is the best initiator. Some of the teams are playing Sky, but yeah, the map kind of solved with the agents.
Do you agree with that, Shazam?
Yeah, I agree. I think Viper is essential on this map as well, really denying those A-lines, those A-lurks. I guess we're seeing a Cypher, though. That is different. I've seen some teams experiment with it. I don't know how much of a fan I am, but it's nice to see some variety.
What would be the differences that we can look out for the Killjoy versus the Cypher on each side?
It feels like Killjoy has better stall, anchoring the C site like normally, while Cypher, you're capable to make more trap plays. There's some camps you could set up traps and be a little more cheesy. So hopefully we see that out of them.
Yeah, I just feel like the Cypher trips are so strong right now. You have to commit so much to clearing them out, and even like fully understanding how it works. People still get caught with kill trips and stuff all the time.
Well, you can see the agents all locked in and ready to go. Our teams are prepared. So let's go ahead and send it over to your casters. These are two individuals who love using their taxes for public infrastructure bills and good old-fashioned public transport. You got Mimi and Ender.
I do love that, famously.
Where did that come from? No, I know where it came.
It's tax day, Chris.
Oh, you're right.
Did you pay your taxes?
No, get me off the cast. No, I did last week. We're all good.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad the IRS won't shut us down. C9, EG, the game at hand here. We're starting off on Lotus, and we have, for Cloud9, a bit of a change-up from what they were showing in kickoff. In
kickoff, they were playing no Viper. They were playing Vanity on the Gecko. They had Zeppa over on the Fade. So now, like the Dust was talking about, I think Viper is a very necessary on this map. So they're switching over to single initiator, going to the double smokes, which I think is going to be a much better look for them this time around.
Let's see how it goes. Cloud9 EG, two teams in the middle of the pack here in America's. Cloud9 coming off a big win against Lev. EG coming off of a stomp. Let's see what they can do today.
EG need to bounce back strong here and get going right off the rip. It's going to be early B main pressure initially. Using the cam to scout out the space while C9 are dominating control. Trouble.
We have
We'll see whether or not
Lotus,
EG want to commit in here. They might just open the door
EJPK, attack,
into that
classic.
C-mound area, breaking
It's
some
an
Killjoy
attack-sided
utility.
map,
That's gonna put a lot of pressure on
slightly.
C9.
I think it's more attack-sided than
More
Icebox
cover?
and Bind.
And a chance to just come in and to see here. Only one molly to stall, but that Viper's
We have a classic comp for EG.
Swings for a bit of a fight against Apov, but it ends in a stalemate as the
Outside of the
Cypher holds
Cypher.
C
That's the comp
He's
they
again stalled
played.
out.
Still debating
Last
what they want
week.
to do. There's 55 seconds left, but Nature really wants to get
I
going.
don't like the
There's two, almost
Cypher.
3 players staring him
As
down.
I said last week, I think if you replace Killjoy with a Cypher,
That's just you want to look for
you
here.
need to
It's gonna come to him, the fight, the
you
goop
need
in
to
the
get
eye,
something
Vanity
else
gets the kill. I think
in.
that pushed through.
Yeah, they've got excellent.
Because Cypher doesn't cover like everything Killjoy does.
Nice right clicks from
You know.
Bruce, he'll double up off of it.
So
And Johnson
I would be
totally
down
again.
if they were
As the
playing
new
with a
addition
Gecko
shuts
instead
it
of a
down.
Fade.
Only Apov left.
Like I think
Vanity
Cypher Gecko instead of Killjoy Fade is good because with the Gecko you have the molly. With the Cypher, you have the info from the Fade, and you have like stop power too. And with Gecko you have some retake, obviously some initiation that you also get from the Fade. But you get with a Gecko you have a flash. So
Was a little bit of inconsistency.
I
but we
would
definitely
prefer
want to see him start off hot
C9
here
to a
in
Fade,
the map number
honestly.
1 for Cloud9.
Gecko is not
3
bad,
kills in the
but
first
I
round,
think
get
Fade
that
is
way
better.
Over towards the lockdown as
Like,
well. Very powerful defensive tool here on Lotus.
Again,
I
I think you go Gecko Cypher or Fade Killjoy
definitely does a lot more. Sets you up
to
for
keep
basically
your,
a
like,
round win on the retake or
comp
much more
more
secure
balanced.
post-fight versus that
I
Cypher,
think
which is
both
just a quick
compi
situation.
are
Yeah,
like
the
slightly
ult is definitely a bit
imbalanced.
of a gap, although
But
some
I
nice
think
things about the
C9's
Cypher, you've
comp
got, like,
is
you're looking
less
down front here right now, you
imbalanced
can put a camera to help sort of assist yourself.
than
It works a little
EG,
bit
so
more.
I
You don't
would
need a teammate to
give
guide you
a
into that
slight
space, a little bit
advantage
less
just
of a
on the
risky
comp
approach.
to C9. It's also their mic pick,
EG
so
seeming content in these first couple
since
of
it's
rounds
an
just to
attack
play
map,
front B into C, but the
probably
Marshall
means
come
they
around
are
the corner.
comfortable.
C is gonna be fine
Wow.
with that one.
Nice shots by Yoxi. They are comfortable playing defense. He's on for the ace. I mean, it's an eco ace,
Over towards
but
front B. Ghost in hand.
Oh.
Oxy won't get it today.
Almost.
Denied. No fun
Close.
allowed for Oxy, although he's still all smiles
Look at
on
that
the stage.
smile.
Oh yeah.
That's what I've really liked watching this
He
Cloud9
looks
team
happy,
early
though.
on, right? Like people were
He
asking,
looks
who's
young.
going to be the vibes guy? You don't have Zelsus anymore. But it's just been Oxy. He's
Yeah.
such a
Damn,
source
it
of,
would be
like,
devastating
electricity
for
this team.
AG to
Every
get
time he
stomped
goes crazy
again.
around, he's popping off. He looks like a guy from anime.
Even watching them in kickoff.
No! Nice. Good job,
You've been disappointed there, but yeah, even watching him feed off of Vanity and kickoff was a whole lot of fun. So, EG, keeping things pretty similar here, going heavy up B at the start of the round. This is just like their pistol. C9's gun's not too favorable, but they've also just been allowed to dominate control over.
And they are
double.
farming the A up
If they
for
hold this forward, aim
Zipper,
at space, it's pretty
Zipper's
easy to,
ultimate.
get back through Baby Door to push out and clear the flanks like they did before.
Repeated the pistol rounds here, and same outcome. Nature shut down. There's no trade in sight.
This time, though, I think EG taking a little bit more into their own hands. Again, Apoth out into sight, into B, using that cage to scale up, looking for the peek around
Good
the corner.
shot.
That's him onto B. He has so much forward space back towards Waterfall now, not able to secure the second kill, but it does
There is
pull
an
off the
upgrade.
C site. And that should
It's
give
not a
EG
big
plant.
upgrade.
So Cloud9.
Zipper
one
could
member
get a
up,
Bulldog instead of his Spectre.
and with not much util to work with, have to make this retake happen.
No chances to play off
And
site.
there are
EG are going to need to hold their ground.
Oxy's nade could be massive.
4v,
If he can zone these
4v3.
players off, prevent a trade.
In the
Could win this
take,
round
and
for
they
C9.
also have the wingman, so
A flood back
they
in,
can
there's
be
that
4
nade,
people
Superman
fighting.
lines up. Oh,
And
the
Superman
swing.
says no.
Stunning stuff from Super. Leaves Moose in the clutch. New addition was good.
No
Earlier
UTL.
in this game, but there's a lot
To
to
the
do
one,
here.
he's so
See
dry.
that gun?
Maybe.
You have to go, you have to
No, now
save, you have
spots it,
to
but
make
Jaw
a
drops away,
decision.
and
Yeah,
Moose will too. Run for the hills.
he's
Yeah, he can
saving.
get out of there with the gun, no problem.
It's a little bit
I mean,
tragic for
Superman
C9.
really bringing that round back for
He
EG.
could have like
Nice little play. Didn't have
win
any
their
support
bonus.
coming in either. Just took a great time and got a couple of kills.
But good
Went out
timing
on the
from
third there too. So EG equalized a little bit, but I think it's going to be a big problem, the fact that they've given up this A main space so consistently. Seeing this play run twice in the first 2 rounds is something EG are going to have to react to immediately.
Nice shot.
EG though, similar setup again, just taking early space towards C Mound and leaving.
We have a
That
stack
A-rubble area to
B.
be taken.
What?
I guess
Oh,
EG
no,
are
they're gonna go
justifying the way
B.
they're
They're
playing
gonna
the start
leave
of rounds,
B
saying they're
for the
really getting a
turn.
lot of control in Mound and into front B, but I think it limits a lot of what they can do in the mid rounds in terms of.
I'm actually not a huge fan.
They're getting that. They're also consistently getting this orb over towards C, which
I'm
is
not a
helping
huge
their
fan
autonomy
of
a
that
little.
Just got the
Killjoy
showstopper
turret. We have a
And there's Jaw on
a
the other
deep-
side. Both these teams harvest their respective orb.
alarm bot. You can see there is smoke from it.
We'll see if they actually commit in here. We'll see
He's gonna find the turret on me.
Adjusting into mid because Apoth has gotten this walk up so much, but he just
And an
nails Oxy.
ultimate. He
And
knows
that's the
now.
showstopper out of the equation. That's pressure into front B. Great lurks from Apoth.
They're scared of the
this game.
push
pressure he
and they're
placed on
rotating
A
on A.
makes
They
it-
found the A guy.
Onto that A site, Vanity just shut down by nature. That Baby Door
And
still
if you're
closed off,
Zipper,
Zephyr can't
you...
get through, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
he's
full retake for
paranoid.
C9.
He's scared of
Apoth is still hanging out.
of a
front B.
lurk.
You know he's just waiting for his time.
Even though the Viper was holding B main.
C9 are taking
They're
their
gonna
time too, 'cause They
save.
don't want to sort of go.
They're
in this
looking
week.
to
I think
save
they're
on
just
that.
gonna save. The pressure of the lurk is too much for them.
There's
to deal
no way
with.
they are
I
like
don't think they can win
looking
the
to
3v4
take C.
before that backstab were to come into play, so they don't even try.
Yeah, less than 500
No, they're
kills on 3 of
expecting
these
a
players.
lurk.
By saving these 3 guns, they should be able to buy everyone and have a full rifle into the next.
Yeah, it's a save.
C9 probably going to be talking about how to, deal with this Apoth guy. There are some options they could look. They've been putting.
I guess
board
Zipper
on the
just
bot.
wants
Check out the map
to-
for a second while they just go for the
He
save.
doesn't
They've been
have
going
the
for this
money
alarm
to
bomb
buy.
right behind Mount there to get the forward information, but you can
Oh,
do
he
ideas
does.
like putting a similar
He
alarm
does.
out in front B. You can also just try to cross.
won't
over
have
and play
all
behind the
his
box
UTL,
in
but
front B there as well.
He's probably
Set up some
looking
kind of a trap play.
to
a couple of teammates there, 'cause
maybe
Apoth getting
catch a
all these
lurk
plays right now
and
is
get
just too much.
some ultimate arms.
Apoth has been like a little time capsule for the last year. We saw him on EG in what, 2021?
Yeah.
2022 into that season a little bit. He looked quite good then, was a really consistent controller player, was popping off with that team. And then he went on to the EG reserve roster last year and didn't play a single official with that team. They were scrimming behind the scenes. We saw how good that team was from what pros were saying about the Scrimbucks, but we never really knew how good he actually was now. Now he's coming back out. He's on the main EG roster, and he's been solid thus far.
Yeah, you know, you open up the time capsule, it's like, oh, he's still playing Cypher? that's some 2021 stuff. Not dealing with the Killjoy. Definitely a different look here on the map. And in terms of how C9 are adjusting to that player, Apoth, it is 2 players, front B. Off of that Killjoy turret front B, they've got a
That's a weak spam.
Paranoia they could activate.
Look at Moose. They did
The
spam
Killjoy
this
is
angle,
senior.
I think it's clear.
They're expecting
This angle's so hard to play.
How thorough is Jojimo?
No way.
He's not clearing. Moose gets one, swings out, 1-for-1 trade.
I don't know. That swing was
Pretty much just what you're asking for in a spot
maybe
like that.
overreact.
As the clock winds down, though, we'll have to see what EG want to do. This is the first time Nature's actually gotten a forward position outside of A. And they can't waste too much time because Showstopper can be very meaningful deep and around. C9 still holding on to tools like the Paranoia on the retake, still full kit on that raise.
Nature's drawing rotations here. 2 players over
Maybe
towards
he
A
could have
still.
asked for
Only
some U-turn or
3
some
to enter the
shit.
C side as EG starts to walk up for the re-exec.
EG have loved the late C hits. And they might just
seconds
wait
left.
until Nature finds something, but now that clock is certainly a problem.
You have to
Notice
rotate,
Oxy
no?
already shifting over towards C.
Teleport for Supa. We'll get past that utility. Oxy still has that rocket. 15 seconds they have to get planned down. Oxy could end this round if he times this right. That fuse timing out. The rocket connects onto one. Trade is
one,
there.
trade
Back
in.
in. Now there's flashes coming every which way, and EG have no
Just
path
too
forward.
slow.
Spike stuck on site. Nature not in time to assist on the fight. Felt like EG just ran themselves out of the game, out of the round. They were really hoping that Nature was going to be able to find a kill, and that was going to, you know, pull more pressure off of the C site. But then once they got down to 25 seconds, they kind of have to commit in there. You know, after this first kill that happened in 1 minute and 5 seconds, they just kind of sat in that C space. For
Yeah,
30,
it's
40
like
seconds
nobody
running
wants
down
to
the clock.
enter.
And C9 never really ran into them, never gave them that fight that would have sped up the round.
Nobody wanted to enter for HG.
Time to work.
Interestingly enough, EG still sticking to this same early round default. Still, this 3-1-1 heavy towards Mound, and this time Moose goes for a bit of a hunt and dies for it.
Moose has been playing so aggressive towards Mound, whether it was the walk across in the previous round, those forward
Yeah.
Killjoy alarms.
I don't know,
so many
man.
as well. C9 have been trying to get that forward space that they're allowed to stay so committed onto the A side.
EG's just gonna expedite into this one. Jaw satchels across. Rocket available, but he won't need it for the hit.
Yeah, you can hold on to that one for the post plant. You've also got, again, Apoth hanging out in front B for the late backstab potential. And C9, they're out of position right now. We're already 10 seconds into the post plant. Zeppa on the A site, so by the time he gets over here with his kit, it's gonna be pretty late in the day.
If Derek times this haunt well, he'll do a lot to stop this
Paranoia.
flood. Flash up for both sides. C9 still stalled out this one. Now a C's being committed. Molly's out for the front of Cloud9, and they pick up 2 kills immediately. That's that rocket gone. Now 3v4. Timer is ticking. Derek is fighting. What an adjustment. It's not enough to find the shot. And now C9 are flooding in with Wingman on the spike.
Thanks
But
to
he's
Apoth
gone.
is the
Apoth wins it in
for
the end. Out of
OG.
chaos.
He cleans up, says, no, not going for the lurk. C9 were playing it too slow, regroups with his team and plays a nice post from there. That's a
Thank God
crazy round.
Apoth is
Let's actually
here.
see what happens, because first of all, it's the quick satchel to get this angle. Oh my god.
It's a
He just shot
pre-shot.
the wall after seeing barely a shoulder. Another spam kill there that gives C9 a real chance in the round. All things considered, with the limited time C9 had.
Let's go, man.
It's a pretty solid retake attempt, but Apoth just too good at the back end. Him and what was that? Was that Derek?
I think so, yeah. I love Potter's claps. Whenever
Yeah?
you see her in the coach camp, very respectful.
Do you think
golf
those
game.
come through on the mic when the timeout's called? You're like, you come in with the clap, hype the team up.
Maybe a little bit. Timeout, speaking of, this time called by Cloud9. Amy gonna get in the conversation with them.
Yeah, you know, I feel like if I'm coming in here as C9, I'm thinking we need to go a little faster on those retakes, right? I think they were spending a lot of time watching front B to see if Apoth was going to come in on that lurk again. So maybe on those C, play a little bit quicker to get out into sight. But really, I would love to see them take more forward B main space. They were setting up a little bit of a trap play in the previous round that just never had a chance to be bitten on. But a big flex here is going to be the name of the game. First time really seeing Oxy paired up with Vanity on this C side.
I think the big problem has been those APOF lurks. Even when he's not actually towards B, it's pulling so much
I'm not
pressure.
a big fan of
Cloud9
the
are
Talon
struggling to
bot.
get enough numbers over to C
From,
to actually flood retake quickly.
Because he conditioned it so early in the
Yes.
half. Now he
I
doesn't even have
think
to do
it's
anything. He's already
too-
set him up, his
Yeah, like
team up
that
for
last round, he
success.
was just with the team, but
Too
they
much
still had to
back.
slow down because of that threat.
We're all ready to go here in this
We
mount
have a
space.
bulldog
Smoke's
for
placed down, and
Vanity.
Super's probably forced to teleport out of that to dodge away any possible chip damage. I love this adjustment though for EG. This is the first time Nature's taken so much fast space. Already reading. This is a heavy C stack. That means
I mean, he
Killjoy
did
very
the
likely.
same thing
That's
a few
solo A
rounds
anchor.
back.
And he's really crept off that one.
EG will hold. See if Cloud9 overextend this one and send a bit of util. That's the rocket. Showstopper over the top, connects onto Oxy.
He's,
And they want to fight more off of this one. Zepp is getting spammed out. So much damage. It's enough to take him down. And now there's only one anchor left on this site. Vanity, his teammates dead around him. He'll sit in the
got a
smoke
creep.
and try and make a play. He's ahead of the Nightfall. He's damaged and
It's
traded.
gonna be traded.
EG pivoting back over towards A. They're gonna bank on Nature here. Nature may have heard footsteps going up that rope to abandon the A site. That makes this rotate so easy for Evil Geniuses.
Reposition that orb deep. Call the boys back through door.
30 seconds left.
Moose will not be able to contest this one. And his teammate's going to be far away.
Yeah,
Moose
and
going all the way
that
around the
Talon
world on
bot
this
just
flank.
died
He has
in
to
the
break that trip.
Viper,
So his position,
in
no.
the snake bite, the Viper molly.
Moose has to go quickly. Trying to get a fight.
planted.
While the spike's being planted, and that timing is just
Oh
so
my
tragic. Like, I actually think he has 2 kills. If he doesn't
Like,
get nervous,
you hear them
what
plant,
was
you
going over his
expect
right
them
shoulder.
to fall back.
you can never know
you
those
know.
little things.
Generally, people will fall back 3.
When he broke that trip earlier in this round. So EG
think
have
you
their crosshairs
save,
trained
yeah.
on this part of the map. Nature even gonna invest a little bit into a hunt here with APOF holding deep. Easy shooting for Rooney.
Yeah, Rooney's gonna keep on farming the best he can on the way out here. I think C9, they're gonna come after that and say, okay, playing that box and mound is completely illegal. Like, we've been cleared there every time now. We've played it too much. We're getting spammed now. It's just not actually possible.
And you
They're
can
gonna
see a
probably keep
lot
trying
of
to stay very
pings
flexible in those defensive setups because,
on
I mean, the way
EG
EG
side.
just read exactly what was happening on the map was very nice. They took a good fight into mound. Their lurk timings have been immaculate, I think. Now really getting effective looks in towards the A side of the map.
They could push A.
It's interesting because we're
Try
seeing
to
another
get the
game that's a
Viper.
slow start for Judgment. He's only gotten 1 kill with his gun thus far this game. The
C9.
other was just that rocket kill you saw in the
Like
replay.
they
But these lurks
they
are
have
APOF
to
have been
know
enough to
she's,
grab
like,
these openers, pull the rotates enough that
lurking
EG is
and
still
taking
getting into
space,
these
eh?
sites, even if their entry isn't really picking up those openers.
It's great to see when EG can have different players sort of step up here. It's APOF.
For sure.
But last week on this map was Nature getting
So,
24 kills. He was the guy going for these lurks, and I think
They're
that's
gonna go B.
probably a big reason C9's prep coming in is let's just flush this guy out of A main. We're not going to let him play the game.
And they do have A main again.
Gosh, this B side has just been so soft so consistently.
Yeah, every round it's just this alarm bot, sometimes the turret, and APOF is just waltzing in,
Yeah.
destroying it, leaving. Little
Step
property
in.
damage, leave.
Just breaking it down, and C9 now they bring 4 players, 5 players almost ready to fight
Look
into
how
B.
many people are rotating into
They're
B.
terrified of this guy. Like, APOF is living inside the minds of C9.
He's in the walls.
He's in the, where is this guy? Oh, but his team are in C, and there's nothing we can do about it because we're not here.
Yeah, all those C players got pulled over. I think there was only maybe one
Although-
nano swarm to stall.
To be fair, Mimi, it's all part of the plan because they have the Killjoy ult. They've got the Thrash. They're ready to go for the retake.
Still, look at these weapons. This isn't a gimme
They're
round.
fighting up.
Oh, it has a nade. He's gonna try and break this one. Dizzy, broken, lockdown, gone. Oxy fighting for his first. Where's those trades? EG missing out on their chances. Now Nature in trouble on this site with the fish coming for him. Can he get a fight ahead of it? Absolutely. There's
And
Rooney.
again,
Rooney
like,
second. Rooney will
they just
trade.
don't
And now
respect
APOF
those,
has to be the defender for his
insights
teammates.
there.
Spike plant position isn't great for this squad. They're gonna have to desperately fight forward. Desperately go for this one. Superman. It wasn't quite enough.
Down to the wire there. Rooney on 39 HP. Assisted by Wingman to win that one out. C9 keep it even with a solid retake. Although we'll see in the replay, EG
I don't know
went
if
for
it's
the
a
very
solid
aggressive play to
retake
try
when
and
you
hunt
are
down
like in a
on the Killjoy
3v1 and
lockdown.
you lose
But
2 people.
They used their paint shells on the lockdown instead of throwing it into this smoke. If they had thrown the paint shells into the smoke,
Like, you
it
start
would
the
have stopped
retake in
those players from
5v3 and
swinging
you
out, getting
end
those
up
trades. I think that's around EG.
in a
EG should've
clutch
won.
like 1v1.
Let the Wingman defuse it.
He's got a job.
He's got a point. Wingman does two things. He can defuse and he can stun, but
He can plant.
oh, that's okay. I kind of include diffuse and plant in the same category because you can't do both
G-time
at the same time.
He can get information.
Okay.
He's very versatile.
Okay, but like really we like him because of the planting and the diffusing.
Sure.
I feel like he's a specialist, right? He's got a side hustle, and that's stunning, that's clearing, but the main job, that's all to do with the spike.
Timeout now for EG. How do you feel about this timeout? It feels like the overall game plan has been working. They just lost a heavy ult round there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there, I think it's micro errors that
Sure.
end up costing them, at least the start of that post plant. Might just be a good time to reset if EG want to really change their pace of how they're playing, because they have never done any rubble control at the start of a round. And coming out of a timeout, you probably don't immediately clue into that, but that's something Potter could seed in where it's, hey, in the last 2-3 rounds of the half, let's do some heavy rubble dives.
And from talking to her former players, generally with her timeout, she's like trying to actively call 2-3 rounds ahead
Yep.
to actually give something to an IGL. She doesn't tend to do like vibes timeouts, you know?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that personally.
Oh,
I think,
wow.
Timeouts can just give IGLs a lot of time to think about the round at hand, and if a coach comes in with a few different reads, hey, maybe we think that B main space is a little bit weak. Hey, maybe we could refight them into A. That gives more and more ideas for the rest of the half.
And here's the change up. After conditioning this pressure on B with the APOP lurk, they'll finally hit off of it. Babydoor, there's a bit of a fight over there with Util coming out both sides, and it's in a stalemate, but Jaws nade, I think combined with a Viper Molly there, gets a kill.
And they're pinching now with Nature outside of Rubble. Babydoor under siege as Zeppa keeps going into the site, gets a couple of kills, and must keep fighting.
go.
3 kills for Zeppa, and he turns around, taken down by Nature, brought into a 2-on-2. Vanity creeping through the smoke, needs to activate quickly. Last man standing. As Amali pushes him out of the smoke, Nature takes him down, and EG secured the round.
That is a lovely change up for EG. Again, we've been talking all game
Yeah, I
about those
mean,
APOP
that
lurks, the
timeout
pressure on
was
B.
just,
Now they activate
you can
off
go
that
B, guys,
conditioning.
it's free.
They've only ever put one person
And so they
into the
went
B side
B and
before.
it was
only
free.
ever APOP.
And I love the idea
Outside of the
too. Instantly sending all that
Zeppa,
utility into
Birkin.
Babydoor, then having a well-timed re-wrap combined with those Maulings again to end up closing this one out.
Yeah, we had a seize nade snake bite,
Yeah.
all chucked into door. Players
Even
over
in
there
the
trying
very
to
late-
dodge everything, yeah.
Yeah, even in the little late round there, like having the call to go back towards heaven, set up that bit of crossfire there. Good stuff from EG.
And here we go, Rubble Dive. The round after the timeout. Instantly going for that for the change of pace. Same time though, front B. Oxy swings off that after breaking it and is taken down. Rooney unable to trade. See how the cage adds that extra layer there and makes it completely isolated.
These last two calls have flown into each other, or flowed into each other
Yeah.
so well. You're conditioning towards B, you pop that site, then Cloud9, try and make a call on their eco round to punish that space. You just have someone deep holding, and for the first time, you go towards A on one of like 2 rounds this half. Cloud9 hasn't committed into that space.
APOP still front B,
Nice
but actually
shots.
shut down. That's the Rooney Sheriff guarantee. It's always good
It's
for
gonna
a kill.
force them to
How
look
is
behind too.
Vanity's classic, not that great. We won't hold it against him though. Bit of a tough buy to begin with for C9, and once the utility starts raining
Nice
down,
shot.
Okay, it's a 2v2.
One enemy remaining.
Jaws name takes care of
Remaining.
one, and Rooney has this even.
Derek's down to 45 HP. Both players, 2 body shots
30
on the
seconds
Vandal
left.
is enough for a kill.
Derek on the re-wrap. Does Rooney look to his right? This reposition could be perfect.
He's still coming for him.
Rooney is trapped. Who swings first?
That's screaming.
Derek, and Rooney wins the round.
Ridiculous. I mean, Rooney got that kill front B.
You have
was
a
able to upgrade
fucking
from the
scream
Sheriff into
from
a Vandal.
the
And
player
closes it
before
out.
the
Nicely
round
done.
is
The
over.
Cloud9 eco round guarantee.
Because of the
Yeah.
delay.
The Sheriff guarantee, that's what gets you Red Bull clutch right there. For
Last
Rooney.
player standing. One enemy.
That kill a little simple, but I like him just holding his ground here. Derek knowing there's no time on the clock. He's got to move into him. C9 having a very successful defensive half here, tied up 5-5.
I mean, they won a few clutch
Jojimo has
too.
Rocket this round.
And another, let's
they're gonna
just
go
go
back
B.
towards B.
Oh.
Oh, Nature saw that guy. Vanity taken out. Nature's really found the opportunity to heat up here. Showstopper goes into the B side, pinching back towards Baby Door now. Those players stuck in slant. The crunch comes in. Oxy finds the one kill, but quickly traded out. Zeppa can't find his way into Baby Door. He's holding down the left click. How does he get that? It's a madness here outside of A. And his kills rain on down. It is somehow EG to find them with a one-man advantage.
1v2 for moves.
I don't
The
believe
second
in
game of the
most.
season. To try and close out this clutch.
Spike.
EG have a crossfire. Jojimo spots him out. They both swing into Moose.
Well,
And he gets them all.
I love it. Moose shuts it down. The salute from Rooney down.
he really found the worst way to play
Back-to-back
the
clutches.
2v1 night.
The clutch factor from this guy.
Last round in the half.
We saw it in Challengers. On all the different teams this man was playing on, he was a mainstay in that scene. But he'll show up to VCT Americas. Keep the Red Bull clutches going.
Not an easy fight there for him either. Had to go back for the first guy after taking him down so low.
Yeah, it's really nice control to adjust for both those guys.
Placing swamp grenade. Placing swamp
Strange final round though. We've got a judge on Oxy with the showstopper. It's a half buy for EG, just forcing it as much as they can.
Holy
and Rooney gets his
fuck.
revenge. Gets it for Moose. Remember previously, it was Jojimo going for the quick peek there, spamming Moose through the corner. That unlocks the Viper's pit now. C-Site is out of commission for EG.
Bring them down.
And look at front B as well. There's a Killjoy turret that would watch the walk up from APOP, and then you've got a Paranoia down this line. That's how they
Here
deal
it
with the man.
comes. Trap play active. Oxy, Rocket. He's not looking directly below him, but he's got a judge in Apop's face. Apop still wins it somehow, and it's an even trade after all the chaos.
I know I was saying a lot about, oh, C9 should just, fight front B and deal with APOP. Apparently you just can't beat him. Cover going down.
Face your
Unkillable.
fear.
Should just avoid it.
Is this a fake into B? A bit of one at least. That's
Where are you?
gonna pull two players. Only this Gecko to anchor on A, and Zeppa's just holding a deep off angle. If they contact up, this could get quite dangerous for Cloud9.
I mean, the turret still didn't see anyone step forward, so C9 aren't fighting too hard on it.
Poison's off.
Always the option to pivot back into B, though.
I don't know why you put
Derek in front. They teleport into Baby Door before breaking that one down. But still two players ready to go. Derek finds the first. Now Rooney takes his opportunity. Coming in, a molly onto the planter. A little bit of damage as Vanity takes his opportunity. Out from heaven, finds the first with the support of Rooney. Wingman getting into the action too. Pit to help the flood. And it slows down for a moment as EG creep forward inside of the gas.
Okay, good spam.
Superman is lost. Only two survivors for EG, forced back into that tight choke. And C9, as they flush out, they know where these two players are going to be. But the spam is going to be absolutely devastating. Nature plays through it one-on-one. 1 HP, but it's Vanity on top. C9 takes them in the first half.
3 clutch rounds in a row for
They
C9.
found that fucking
This game
Viper.
comes down to the wire, but they come out with
Switching
an
sides.
excellent defensive side there, answering a lot of the questions EG sent their way. I think throughout that one, doing a lot better job in the
I
late
mean,
round.
winning your defense on Lotus is always
And
feels
especially
good.
winning out in these clutches. And you see Oxy on the stage there. The guy is so emotional for this team in like the most positive way. Bringing the hype, bringing the vibes.
You absolutely love to see it. But neither coach happy after that one.
But let's hear a little bit more about Oxy and find out why he's so comfortable on that stage with the C9 roster.
Obviously, I have one of the best flex players and best IGLs out there, in my opinion, and they give me they just tell me what to do and I do it. That's all I gotta do. But I don't have to think. They actually tell me not to think, so I don't think, and they tell me what to do and I follow. That's all I do.
He's just like me for real. Not a thought in
Mimi,
his head.
stop thinking when you cast.
I
just
don't.
Don't do it. Good. Good. That's what we like to hear. I mean, Oxy's just wild. He is wild up there. Having too much fun at times. But you know what?
Enough fun.
Just enough fun. The perfect amount.
Cloud9 can have a little fun as a treat.
Agreed. Especially, hey, look, they started off the week taking down Leviathan. Now, solid first half. I mean, winning 7 rounds on your defensive side. The worst defensive map in the pool. Not too shabby. EG, on the other hand, suffered a really disappointing defeat last week.
What was that second map? 13-3?
We don't talk about it. 13-3 on Icebox. That's what it was on their choice. But now is where they have to show that resiliency and battle back, right? They've got a couple of minutes to reset going into the second half. They know they're at a significant disadvantage here. But if you think back to what Shazam was actually saying on the desk before the game started, you know, they are playing that Cypher. Now that we're seeing the Cypher move over to defense, you've got ideas for the trap setups. What can you run off of the camera? Harder to stall out those sites, but easier to play for like trip kills on the site. So Apoth can get a little bit more active, I think, with the fights he wants to take around those.
I really want to see more out of Jaw in this half, especially with the Cypher, with those trap plays. So much of that is going to be built around his nade, him swinging off of it, going for these fights. The guy was a superstar last year, winning champs with Evil Geniuses, and thus far here in Americas this year, it's been a bit more of a struggle. Pretty bad first game in stage 1. C9 will satchel into B though. Oxy takes this space, so the task of retaking is on EG. Nade for Jojmo in. Zeppa will commit this plant, but everyone here is already ready to fight. Zeppa has to flood through heaven because the paranoia pushes him into Derek. How much can Derek do? 2 up against him. He doesn't find a single kill, but Nature can get a little bit better. Oxy low on HP. Right clicks, missing out. Time being fought, but now it's a fight into main. Vanity 1 for 1. 3 players left, but they're dropping one after another. And Rudy's so far away from this. Was reflanking all the way back through A.
He had a Molly lined up from over there too.
The nerd. Can he win the round now? Swings into him, doesn't hit a shot. EG, massive pistol win.
EG got moving so quickly on that retake. Like, the craziness of the position, we'll see it in the replay, because C9, after planting, they pushed for heaven control. At the same time, EG are flooding out from Baby Door, wrapping straight behind him and getting that crunch. It was really nice, right? Like, C9 were getting kills, they got pinched on, then EG are also pinching through into B main, hunting out those main players. That is a very strong post-plant B protocol at work. And that's what you expect from EG.
Oxy's forcing a Guardian into this.
Holy.
Half armor Guardian. What can the youngster do?
I mean, he can fry. We know that, as long as he doesn't think. That's mission number 1. Oxy, don't think, just shoot.
Not thinking about the future of his economy, already a good start.
Yeah, just ignore it completely, it doesn't matter. Hey, if you get your kills, that's what matters. You've got your smokes out! Why do you have your smokes out there?
Questionable. You want to explain that for me?
I assume he'd been holding the one-way and didn't think anyone could have gotten in past it. And the time he went back to actually pull out the smoke is the timing Oxy took, but I don't know.
That's brutal.
That's the most generous I can be.
Cloud9 still not secure in this round. They're gonna hit into this C site. Apoth, 3 players all ready to go, and that star is seized. Oxy tries to escape, but he has no business getting out of that one. Jaw finds a kill on the other side, and well, the round started sloppy. EG are cleaning house now.
For their elite agents.
All good.
Derek not impressed by their elite agents.
It's true.
Yeah, so he was resetting the one-way smoke.
Yeah.
I think Oxy was in A main during that time and just took it obscene timing.
The perfect timing there.
Yeah.
That one way is also pretty finicky to get it right on. You have to like walk forward and back a little bit to do it. Like that's one of the one ways in the game that takes a little longer to place. You can give him a bit of a break.
We can forgive and we can forget. It never happened to me. Go into the next round. It's all good.
And we have Vanity just with
C9
a
opening
pistol.
up some mount
City
control.
bought Guardian. That's all
Both
for
teams
Oxy.
actually really trying to dominate the space early on in their attacking halves.
Yeah, very similar starts for both these squads on their attack side.
I think that when
The
you
weapon
fight into
is
either
not
front
that
B or front
bad.
C, what you can do is just by tapping that door,
Important
you flush out any
for,
aggressive
C9.
forward play from the defensive side. You instantly get to scout out that space. It's not really the same thing with Rebel. As attacking into that space, you can only really go through one choke.
You see part of the power of this Cypher, that cam all the way up is going to be pretty hard to break. And honestly, something you're not often thinking about. It's like, think about when EG was playing like Sova on Fracture. There's certain maps where you're used to checking for a dart, checking for a cam, and there's maps where you aren't so used to that. So it adds a little extra element in.
That it does. C9 adding that Rebel re-clear. Mosh lands on the top here, also flushing out backside. You see the combo come in from the Viper spit as well. C9 still playing things slowly. Notice they've actually left Vanity, hanging out over towards C. They've got an alarm bot front B to make sure that the defense can't take any forward space there either. And now they've actually left a little Viper onto door.
Superman has a paranoid as he fight through onto this one. Nade to combo. Rooney gets a gap and he escapes.
Rooney's in the
It's a lot
matrix
of
right
utility
now.
for
All the utility
OG.
around him. But what it's done is it's pulled out players from C because he was the only one that scaled forward to hit the door. They saw so much utility on that side. EG over-rotate and the plant goes down.
That's also big retake tools gone. All they have to get back in is going to be the haunt for EG. Now down a member as well.
How do EG get back in here? It's going to be a full flood into Waterfall. 3 players go there. Superman going to slow play to main, but a good spam kill starts things off well for EG.
Zappa to flash over. No util. His job just to fight at this point. Molly's in front of him. He'll run straight through them. Vulnerability is good to convert onto that kill. And all the players now standing off-site, relying on this spam, this spray to get it done. Vanity's TPing up top. Ridiculous scenes. And now they just ran through.
Yeah,
Eric's killed them all. How's that happened?
I have no idea.
And that's a
C9,
bonus.
It looks like they were playing pretty aggressively on site.
That's a
They had
bonus
Viper
for
orb
EG.
that they were playing with from back bend. But then 3 players fall off site in this rolling defense. Right, because look, they're
Which is
playing up
big
forward, but once
on
Oxy
defense.
fell down, I think everyone else fell off site. They realized they didn't actually have any control. They had to fight back through here.
My question exactly.
It's a good question. Potter is pogging.
And Imi is not happy.
No, he's actually calling a timeout.
Yeah.
2nd
3 rounds in
timeout
a
for
row, the bonus
C9.
secured for EG. First thing, I think less so than the post plant and how they played that. I think you're coming in, you're saying the way we manipulated the map was good, right? Like all the control that was done from Rooney out of a Rebel pulled those players off the site, so we can keep playing like that to get those players over rotating for good late round pivots.
Very similar to that first EG timeout. The crux of the matter is the micro.
Yeah, and then it comes to solving the post plan. I think first idea from them would be, actually we need to bunker down a little heavier on site. I didn't see what util, there might have been too much util thrown all the way into the back of site
There
for
was
them
a
to
lot of
actually play
mollies
out.
committed early to support, I think it was Zeppa who was solo on that site.
And that is sort of one of the reasons why you see so much of the rays, the omen for the paranoia, the C's from the fade. You can throw a ton of stuff into that back bend area, that water area right when you flood out from main.
That's a tough round to lose for C9. They had a good advantage coming out their defensive side. Now down around, EG have the momentum. They're in a good position here.
That they are. Switching up their setup a bit. It's actually a late Cypher setup, so I think that coming in the timeout was a late pivot to change the passive side of the map over towards A.
What do you make of the solo Gecko on this map? Because, I mean, you see there's a lot of sense where the Dizzy's just going to get broken when you don't have util to combo with it.
I think it's totally fine. I think because there's so many agents that are necessary, there's like 4 agents that are necessary, and that's everything besides the Gecko. The Gecko can kind of be a slot of its own where it could be a fade, could be a sky. But Gecko is so good because of the low cooldown on this map for those fast second wave hits onto a site
And
like
you're
this.
seeing it here.
Yeah, you use your first flash, 10 seconds later, you're already into
That
B.
is a good nade from Jaw. And a little bit too quick on the refresh for that one. Zeppa caught with util in hand, and Superman now has kind of weaseled his way back into
Okay,
it's a very
Oxy.
awkward situation.
Oxy's gonna pick up a gun off of that too.
And now they're running back through A, but the spike is down. That's the real issue of this round.
Clearing back into Baby Door with a Marshall. Yeah, good luck. Don't think that's happening. But Oxy's a little too obvious, so he doesn't want to speed up too much himself. Now they've got to consider that wall timing, and they do look for Baby Door.
Nature's trained
They
on
made
this angle.
noise.
Molly at his feet. He's just gonna spray though. 10 HP. Finds himself a gap. Apop now, the next level of that support. Oxy, the man who picks up that gun, only goes 1 for 1. There's just no time. This round is over. EG shut down the Antica.
Yeah, that was always going to be a hard one for C9. Made him work with a great timing taken from Oxy to push up towards heaven, towards spawn.
Get that fast satchel in to dive on that player and get the opener.
It was very nice. And ended up winning that fight with a stinger from kind of long range.
Yeah.
Right here, boom.
I think Derek already a little low there.
He must have been. That kill was way too fast. People are going to be calling for the stinger nerfs if that was on 150. There's no way. Another setup now with Cypher Viper over towards A from EG. Maybe reading some ideas here from C9 because they've got Thrash, they've got the Showstopper too, so actually holding onto a side is going to be really hard. It's actually a front B setup at the moment for EG. They can paranoia out, they can open up this door and really fight into Mount if they want.
Yeah, this is a trap play.
They've got a Showstopper of their own.
Oh yeah!
Joel popped that off the Noya. In comes the Thrash over top. Jojimo midair. He connects, but 5-9 have traded this one even. And Moose activates the lurk at just the right time.
Moose having those rounds, and Apop can't match it this time. Rooney was hanging out, although not unwinnable. Nature was a beast on this map last week, and he goes for his timing. Brings it to a 1-on-2, but the paranoia proves too much. Moose secures the round for C9.
8-9. That's a real big round to pick up for them. And I think really the important matter of that one was that Moose reflank. He's been sitting bottom, be really patient in that endeavor.
This play was so perfect. Going over the Thrash, getting the kill and the trade. Like, EG, that was a perfect play. This is the problem. Like, and there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah.
I think we were just about to see.
The kill he catches there is like a half second before that player gets back into B.
Literally, Derek had just cast his ultimate, was about to pull out his gun and turn and fight that angle. That was a 1 second window, like you said.
Odin spam paired with the Roomba to get Jojimo and Orb here. I love how much EG is putting into getting this Showstopper online. They have a lot of plays built around it.
It's actually, sorry, it wasn't the Nightfall he used that previous round. Another piece of utility, so holding on to that here. We see the Mosh coming in. Superman's got a TP out. Using the enemy's Viper Wall to his own advantage there to aid in the escape. Sure, discount Jet Smoke plus Dash. But this is the power of the Gecko, like we're talking about, because every single area on this map sort of requires you to fight for one piece of initial space, whether that's rubble or whether that's mound, and you use that piece of utility, and then you can go for the site hit. And usually it takes you about 10-15 seconds before you can set that one up.
Flip is going to be a bit problematic for C9. Go get it. Moose has the lockdown, and he's actually going to slam it. Alarm bot will stop anyone from flooding forward.
They're going back A. Look at that. They left Rooney hanging out towards rubble, already on the rotations.
30 seconds left.
EG are playing a weak A site, but that's only for now. A Nightfall front B hits nothing, so now they can get that pivot going to A.
They've re-cleared B, they've re-cleared C. They know this is an A hit coming in. These players have actually got great timing. Supa is stalling out. He still has his paranoia. Plant coming down from the wingman. 10 seconds for him to accomplish that goal. And
denied. You have to plant.
Spike on the ground. Jojimo swinging forward. Derek paired up with him. The synergy is there. EG. What a reply.
Not fooled at all, were they?
I mean, they were initially, but they're so quick to re-clear. And Superman does
it's like
enough
C9
to
have zero freaking attacks.
But I don't think they were fooled. I think they had 3 players on C, but that was for other reasons. Because those players were rotating over and had that hit come in. But then immediately they're making the call to use the Nightfall. Like, they're using a big ultimate just for scouting, but it was a really good choice.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have those players set up in Waterfall, the rotates on this map between B and C are so quick that you can re-clear B and be at A within like 10 seconds.
And between A and B, right? If that had hit any player's front B, they then are thinking,
what
oh, it's a crunch through Baby Door, and you get set up to heavy flood into B.
And I think that's credit to how well EG is calling off Derek's util to have those super fast rotates on defense. And,
okay.
I mean,
Superman.
on kind of a weird anti-half buy is just owning them. in main.
Spike is down
I mean,
too.
this is some like just confident stuff from EG that we haven't seen much. It's mostly been these slow mid rounds. Here they're just winning out the duel on the Rebel fight.
That's
I do think
risky.
the confidence comes down to there not being a lot of Rebel fights going their
It's
way.
gonna be trading.
Rooney, though, upgraded from that Sheriff. Can't quite find
And
the
it's
shot, though.
over.
As EG go up to 11.
It's gonna
Again,
be
these
first
EG
map EG.
kind of
I don't
pace
see
changes where they're
C9
investing
coming
more
back. They have
heavily
no
into these faster
timeout.
plays. In both halves have been
They have no
perfectly timed. It
momentum.
was round 10 and 11 off that Potter timeout where they win 2 in a row with a change of pace. Here, they win a crazy round on the slow rotation game.
Like on the
and then
last
they send
10
it down
rounds,
lobby.
C9 won 1. And it wasn't even like the bonus round for EG.
C9 need to make an adjustment of their own here. They used all their big power ults.
It was
they
like
got a Viper's Pit.
all
They've
their
got
ultimates.
the Omen ultimate, but to actually blow up
They
in the
barely
site, that's
won
just
a
not
round.
going to be available to them. They've just got to play solid Valorant from here on out, ulting into that B site for the quick clear. Rooney comes around the corner. Actually, that's Nature. Instantly taken down.
I don't think I've seen a team
Creeps
that
into
bad on
Waterfall.
Lotus
He has a fight
on
against
like
Apex, and
attack
he
side.
scores just in the nick of time. Again, that wingman won't be allowed to plant the spike for free. He's
going C.
running to C.
Yeah, he is.
John's through this one though. Rocket all the way through into C. He's around the world. John's gonna keep running for more. This means Oxy is now isolated, or at least he was until Rooney finds the time.
Most normal attack side Lotus round here.
Ridiculous.
The full exec interview with Omen ult, and we're sprinting through water to plant on C. Superman has a paranoia, and he's looking into front B to clear that out first, but also to paranoia and try to pinch back into the C site. He's on his own, and so is Derek for the retake.
Where does he send that Noya? Front sight.
Last player
Moods
standing.
caught by that one, but Rooney wasn't. And Supa just is gonna save this one. Or maybe go back for some damage, but the round's over.
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't super matter. Well, he's not great for C9.
Super matter.
That's not what I was doing. Mimi, don't try to put words in my mouth. I'm not trying to make
That's what
bad
you said.
puns. No!
It
Words
was,
mean that's a normal
it
thing.
was a
Okay.
bad pun.
Okay.
Super matter isn't even like a sentence.
Yeah, it is.
It
Like,
doesn't matter
You could
much.
say giga matter,
No.
omega matter.
No.
All of these things are real things you can say.
11 to 9. Moving on.
This game matters.
It does. Honestly, a lot. Especially for EG after that opening loss.
What a crazy round from C9.
Killed. One enemy remaining.
Rooney's been looking sharp today, too.
Almost Swift there. I don't know what happened. Francis.
We're quick over into the safe side of the map. 4 players here from Evil Geniuses. They've got to buy, and C9 are overcommitted. We're swinging into the line. Superman gets 2 and keeps on going. EG dominate the space. Jogamo gets 2. And C9, they lose the spike off the play as well.
Jojo's back. 2 rounds now where he's just fighting into A lobby, and his utility is destroying people. Kill with the paint shells, 2 with his gun. Barely even 30 seconds into the round and it's over.
C9 have
The
no
rubber fights have
answer.
not been working for C9.
We can see it again here. That setup from EG is really nice.
In case you're wondering, Moose thought he could go in for the 1v3. Failed at the end, and that gives EG 12. And that could actually make a difference. Look at the buy now from C9. Moose could have tried to save that. It would have been hard to save the rifle with 5 players alive, but
EG were definitely going to go hunt that one.
could have at least tried. Yeah, there
A lot
it is.
of red
Jogamo
ping
gets the
on
4K.
PSI.
Good stuff from him. Remember, started this game, what, like 2 and 6, something like that? Slow
Yeah.
start, and he's recovering.
It's wild that C9 aren't giving up, though. They're going back into another Rebel fight. A little bit softer this time, though. Zeppa showed the Dizzy outside of C.
Yeah, more of that kind of late contact in once you hear if there's initial util.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
they are
now
giving up.
there's some kind of
They
a
were
trap in front of
expecting
B.
a quick death on
Jogamo looking
Orban.
to play it. Moose is stuck over in the corner. He's got to fight his way out with a stinger. That is not a fun position to be in.
Cloud9 will excel into A now. Nature will just escape towards heaven, so it's going to be a full retake for EG. Where's this rocket going? I don't think there's a target for Oxy to find here unless he maybe walks up the rope, tries to wiggle his way into
No
a spawn.
way,
And
no
somehow,
way.
no way! Jaws in the air. What a reaction from him. He knows the race. Rocket not going to lose out to that one. Flood back into the site now. Superman loses his fight. EG, this round's starting to fall apart, but Jaws active. Rocket up, finds one. Derek on the trade. The world champion Raze makes himself known in those last few rounds as EG take their opponent's map pick.
Damn. Very disappointed by C9. C9 attack side.
Heating up with the showstopper, brings it back under control. I mean, that was a defensive half if ever I've seen. Did they lose 2 rounds?
Yeah.
2 rounds on defense?
And remember, that does not happen very often. This is the most attack-sided map here in Americas.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and it was after a poor first half, if you think all things considered. EG only got 5 on their own attack. Moose was looking super hot towards the start.
For me, the highlight was whether it was off the Cypher Cam or other pieces of utility, all the variations of trap plays EG had.
Like,
Jojmo re-pushing for space in the mid-round on defense.
it's the most attack-sided map
And I will say, even though
in America.
down at the half, I think they
And
still
both
had a
teams
lot of
lost
good
their
things
attack
going
side.
They're calling in the mid-rounds, and
That's
especially
telling.
Apon. Like, he doesn't finish
You know?
the game with a ton of kills, but
Because
the first
C9
half,
started 7 to 5.
he was
They
like
won
the
their
scary
defense side.
monster in the walls.
And then they
C9,
lose
like,
freaking
they had no idea where he
13-9.
was. He was just crushing front B over and over. And C9 could not figure out how to deal with it.
Well, a much better game here from EG compared to their debut in Stage 1. But the job's not done yet. Second map coming up after this break.
Look what I've just made. The perfect pearl.
Not too bad, but check this out.
Whoa, a true Venus clam.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this. just kind of
off protocol to make them think twice.
Rooney with 3. A second one down to the feet. A bird! And he gets the ace!
So Potter, we were talking to Joggimo before. He was saying, like, you know what, I'll just lean back and hold W, and that's going to make the difference for victory. But I'm pretty sure there's more to that. So what was the biggest thing that you guys had to work on from last week to prepare for this week?
Just not getting too antsy, giving ourselves a chance to breathe a little bit. You know, last week we had a lot of advantages, and I was starting to get PTSD in this first map as well because we had a lot of advantages once again. But as a young team, it takes a little bit of time to build up into confidence, to know how many advantages we actually have, and to just breathe a little bit. So these guys had fun on map 1, so that's good news for us.
At least for now, they were able to close it out when you had that numbers advantage. So good job for that, and good luck for the rest of the series.
EG manages to close out C9's pick of Lotus, and they do so, I would say, quite aggressive fashion. Again, I think that when we always dial in on this EG team, there were a few rounds in particular in that first half that looked a little hairy there, Doug. Yep. It felt as if EG were just letting these opportunities slip from their hands, and that's not what we want to see happen there.
Right, and even Potter mentioned it. Like, it felt like it was flashbacks to last week. They had big advantages, and it felt like they were throwing them away. How many times in the last half did we see?
I think it was like the last three rounds,
right?
3 or 4 of the half. Yeah.
1v2s, 1v3s going the way of Cloud9 that really felt like, what was the reason behind that decision? Why would you make that play the way that you did? It really felt like they let a lot of rounds go. And yeah, I think the score was, 13-9 at the end?
Yeah, here they are.
Yeah, the map easily could have been 13-4, 13-5. I think if a couple of these rounds go a different way in the first half, EG has a massive lead going into the second half, and then they roll. But it was little things like this that I think kept things competitive in a way that it probably shouldn't have been, if I'm being candid.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at these moments here, and right at the end of this half.
Push up the rope there. Like, it's like they were getting, they were getting so aggro, and it was getting them advantages. And then, yeah, I mean, it's just at the end of the rounds, in these situations, it was just falling apart. I mean, it's not Derek's fault there, but at the end, like, they're losing 1v2s. There's just really no excuse for situations like this. Zeppa's still getting kills while in the nade. Another 1v2 from Moose. Like you said, Doug, this really could have been a serious roll.
Yeah, I think there were just a lot of things that Cloud9 was able to get away with. And honestly, mad respect to Cloud9 for punishing them when they could have.
Very true.
And they should have, right? Like, there are a lot of teams who aren't able to capitalize on those windows, those mistakes that are being made, and good on them. But yeah. The truth is, I think they roll back and they look at this map and go, why we threw that first half?
Yeah, I mean, and then in the second half on defense, they were just playing lights out. I mean, their rotations, the way that they were, I mean, in this situation, just absolutely shutting down the A side with that fade was just so good. Night and day. They really stepped it up there.
Yeah, it seemed like on the first half, like, EG's initial plans were well rehearsed and they were like one step ahead, and then they were just fumbling the late rounds. But in the second half, they cleaned it up. C9 struggled to get rebel control. EG was just always one step ahead.
Yeah.
Looked like C9 had no options.
You know what I do wonder, though, because there were a few times there, as you had noted, that the mid-round, the late round sometimes fell apart. And I do wonder, had those early executes of the aggro plays they were making not panned out for them, Wyatt, I mean, then what's the pivot? Because that's what I want to see. I want to see when EG's plan struggles, and then how do they re-pivot out of that? Because I don't feel like that has necessarily been the case on that Lotus game.
I mean, if you're speaking about the first half, they just need to find the moment in the round to slow down. Yeah, that's really it. Like, it was just all go the entire time.
Yeah.
I do think to think about how EG navigated that. Potter talked about it, a little PTSD. For a player in that situation, that's got to feel terrible, right? It's like, crap, it's last week all over again. Jog had a slow start again. They weren't really executing anything. So I do think, especially for a young team, there's a lot to be said about the fact that they faced it again. They looked it dead in the eye, and they were able to navigate it well. And yeah, a lot of it was due to the fact that it changed halves and it's a fresh start. But for them to be able to put that behind them, make the adjustments that they had to at halftime, and run away with the second half, I think is really impressive.
Yeah, and hey, if the identity of this EG team is we're just going to get aggro and punch you in the face, I'm totally down with that. That's a fun one. But let's go ahead and hear what C9's coach had to say as we get ready for map number 2.
So, I mean, a very tough loss on that first map on Lotus. Your map pick there. How basically are you going to work to bounce this over in this second series?
I mean, it's pretty simple. It's the same thing every week, just a different day. We just have to bring it back.
Same old S-word, different pile.
Yeah.
Well, good luck for that for the rest of the series, man.
Well, next up is going to be EG's pick of Sunset here. Kind of a favorite amongst a lot of our pros in the VCT Americas. We've been seeing this map played quite a bit. You heard the coach there of C9 say, we're just going to have to, shake it off, do what we got to do. That is always going to be what you would expect the coaches to say. But I do think that the way, Shazam, that C9 kind of struggled to be able to find a footing in that game, I could see the same thing happen, especially on Sunset.
Yeah, that's a map you scratch off. I'm not going to lie. The C9 players are probably feeling like they got outclassed. Just by game plan. So they really got to just dial in and make sure that they're feeling confident about Sunset. Maybe there's a lot of preparation done. I know we've seen EG play Sunset before. Yeah. So hopefully they've got their work done.
Yeah, I think there are a few things that make me lean pretty heavily towards EG as I think about Sunset. I love the way Nature called that second half. On Lotus, it felt like he was outclassing them individually from a calling perspective. I also think they had a lot of protocols when it came to trap plays. I think specifically about that A crunch where they had the C's and the spit back rubble where they just, back half wall where they just obliterated them. And the truth is, Sunset allows a lot of that. Sunset provides a lot of opportunities for these trap plays off of contact or early info, things like that. So knowing what we know about Potter, knowing what we know about how we saw them play Lotus, and then knowing what we know about how Sunset tends to play out, I think there's really good reason to think this will be a 2-0.
No, that's a really good point you made. You saw EG on their defense were not afraid to sit behind that Viper wall, drop it, fight Rubble, regress, while C9 were kind of playing a guessing game. They're like rotating, not really sure. They weren't sticking together, being proactive, and so it's looking good for EG.
I also think the comp lends itself to that. If they're running this Fade Breach combo, I mean, Breach is like the king of setting up these miserable situations where you've got utility all over the place, your stun, your flash, it's a miserable situation to be in.
Yeah, well, we'll see if this pans out for them. Does the Breach give them the opportunity to make those trap plays a reality, or can C9 manage to force that map 3? Let's go ahead and send it back to your casters. Mimi, Ender, the floor is yours, my friends.
Thank you. I love the floor and having it in particular.
I love floor too. My goat.
Yeah, she's very good. But anyways, we're getting into map 2 here. This is the map that for EG, they got eliminated by Loud in kickoff here on Sunset, but they've come back, looked way better in that map number 1. Cloud9, I think this is going to be a tough one.
It's a good adjustment that we saw from Evil Geniuses. And C9, while yes, they are going to be trying to bounce back, they've also got to worry about LCQ Derek. This is the map that he was owning on back in kickoff. So you got to watch out for that guy over on the stage as we load into this
I like the concept that LCQ Derek is a different guy.
It is a different person entirely. I'm pretty sure. I've never seen LCQ Derek and current year Derek in the same room.
ZG's choice. They'll start out on this defensive side, a little pressure into mid.
Whoa.
Both teams, Zapoth, I get caught by this paranoia.
This dude's out here fighting. What's up with this? And he wins it too. Oxy down, paranoia, but there's no real follow-up off of him.
Yeah, that util to support is so good. Stun keeps Apoth alive. He's still a bit stuck here, but he has teammates to support towards main, and yeah, Cloud9 have no way back into this one. EG escape.
Interesting start to a round there from EG, going for that pretty low utility investment, but creeping out into mid for that early kill. C9 looks like they want to play this one by overloading pressure into mid, spamming out Derek, quickly seizing control into market, but with Superman here, with Apoth back ready to go. They're ready to fight off of one another. The right clicks coming in fiercely. Apoth here to support as well. Zeppa jiggles around and does secure the kill, bringing things more even for C9, but 2v3 is not going to be simple.
EG not giving away a fight here.
Look at that player going into mid. Rooney was thinking about stepping out into that space, but EG have grouped up 3 players to retake market.
Oh, the timing is brutal there. Zeppa would need the ace to win. He's already picked up 3, but EG swing together.
They're not just swinging, they're jumping around. Right-clicking, have a little fun with it. From the start of that pistol round, creeping out for that early kill, setting up EG for a nice little advantage there. I liked how they played that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're already seeing some of the power of the Breach there. Having those fault lines from across the map to support a player walking down. The only reason Apoth lives there is because of that well-timed fault line and then his player's top mid swing to help him get out.
Yeah, because he was getting, utility dumped on him as well. There's paranoia that hit him. Yeah. But he gets out okay. Oxy's doing it again. C9 have come in this week and they've just got a read. And the read is, we're buying in round 2. We're going to support Oxy.
If Oxy was on my team, I might do the same.
Yeah.
Do the spike down. It's really only one player who will have less than a full rifle in round 3.
And even then, you know, another teammate can buy for him. He can probably get another Guardian in the next round for a teammate there too. It's not too bad.
I mean, last time
actually it was Zeppa that
Vanity only had
only
a pistol, he only had a shell.
Zeppa's down to 400, so he's the one in trouble.
And that's the bonus they lost
By
to.
Oxy opens it up onto one. That was a good.
So I don't know.
But his movement is fast enough to get out of dodge.
I think it's NRJ that started to do that, dropping a Guardian for Demon 1
Jogamo and Nature linking up
when you lose the pistol.
Actually stepping out of that smoke too. They're looking to fight up into it.
Vanity picked up a gun. 1v1 against
Oh.
Chalk. His timing is everything, and Vanity ahead of it this time doubles up.
Okay.
Apop back sight getting overwhelmed by the Guardian Cloud9. Looking to close this eco.
A single Guardian to grab another Spectre and go for the fight. Now
This time they're gonna win the
smoke
eco.
does absolutely nothing. Vanity just found that thing lying on the ground and got 3 kills with it.
And that's really bad for EG's money, like losing the eco is like super bad.
I mean, that's one they're going to want back.
Yeah, that just should not be happening either. Like, this comp, the Raze Fade, a lot of teams have shifted away from playing it, but it dominates A main space. Obviously, they were looking for that re-aggress, but it just didn't go their way.
Throw me a gun mid-side. Oh. What?
Yo, call a timeout. Vanity needs to breathe.
Most serious Cloud9 comp.
All right. Old play in the book here, but a paranoia line ready to go right across there when they scale up. If any contact is made, they can heat up off of this with a couple of satchels to chase down a blinded player.
Derek on the jiggle.
That's LCQ, Derek, I'll have you know.
I'll say his full name next time.
Yes. Legally changed it. There's a bandit over on this A site too.
There.
It's too bad. EG had a couple of trap setups going over in market and B main, but C9 guessed right the weak side, and they're already in.
Haunt missing out a little bit. Derek won't connect for anything on that one. Now here comes this nice little util combo. Zeppa gets far enough away on that tether to stay alive, and now gets to recommit the point.
Vanity, how aggressive does he want to look? Going for those wide, fast swings with the Spectre. That's his comfort zone.
I've got your
Oxy looks to stall out, but EG are wasting no time satcheling in with the classic to get a kill, but now as they run through the smoke, they're all blinded
Nice
up.
shot.
Oxy's just taking off heads. No chance for EG.
Those shots were pretty clean. Okay, Oxy. Get a little fired up. I see the smile from here.
That's that Guardian. Still holding on to it. Okay.
So round 4. EG finally gonna have weapons back online here. Big question for me is around this A main control, because despite this comp strength in that area, I think Cloud9 have done a really good job of fading out that util and then re-flooding in and punishing that space.
Yeah, you don't, when you're attacking into this thing, you do not want to swing in too early on, although EG are going to take this fight fast. It's a flash instead of a fault line to post up here quickly. Holding onto that fault line now, as a matter of fact, as they creep up behind what's not even a one-way. They just want to take that fight. Holy! It's a 1-for-1, and Derek falls back.
The question is, if that's really enough to justify the investment. A lot of tools put into that. Jaw would have had the showstopper, now that's offline.
I'll say, though, I'd trade my Raze on defense for the Raze on attack.
Sure.
Remove that
having no
ability.
dive against that Cypher comp is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Especially since without a Sova, your only real tool to break trips, besides slowly contacting in, is that Raze nade.
C9 do not have good ways to heat up with this comp. You know, the Sky Flashes, they're already out of, as a matter of fact.
The way is Oxy.
That is very true. Or using some tools to find a bit of a lurk. Big problem for them right now, though, is they weren't able to spam out and break that Cypher trip in mid. Big reason why you throw this attacking Viper wall that cuts off market and top mid is to threaten that lurk, but they're grouping up into this A main space, which will not be easy to re-clear through. This is their last piece of initiator utility with that dog.
Derek, 1-for-1. Nature swings forward after shock. Zeppa gets out of it. So all three players from C9, they're not going to re-rotate all the way to A.
That's the thing, without the satchels, you just cannot heat up off of that. So they're banking on the fact that now EG have over-rotated into A, but they're making tons of steps. Superman's got to hear that. Swinging out top mid, that paranoia is going to hit absolutely everyone, and the clock is winding down. 10 seconds with APOP still on site. Seeing the planter, he can look for his timing, but now fully aware of Superman trades out from Boba, the last player to plant the spike, but you are not long for this world, buddy. EG dominate C9 without time to plant.
And that's the reason you pick this comp. If you can dominate A main control, completely shut down that space, and funnel your opponent into that Cypher site, it makes playing defense on this map so much easier.
C9 are going to have to do a better job, I think, early in rounds of hunting down some of that util. This round, they turned around to try and deal with that early aggression.
Honestly, a really nice variation on the normal A main control pattern.
One enemy remaining. Spike planted.
But I do want to see them make more use of the Viper wall they're throwing. That'll be very important for them. Although I'm thinking Jogamo is looking for an early dive play. We need to get back into this one because already top mid Jogamo with a showstopper. Different setup from Evil Geniuses. Ready to maybe snap that one off of a tripwire being broken.
Keep your eyes on Nature. From the safe side, he can stun all the way over for Jaw.
And this time the trip was broken. 10 seconds into the round. This is exactly how C9 have to play it out. Now as the wall comes up, there's so much more threat to get this lurk going.
Nature. Containing the space. Stun. Showstopper from Jaw. Over the top. Lovely stuff. Oxy made it through, though. He is so fast. Derek wasn't ready. Nature is stuck slant. Does Oxy know?
Yes, he does.
Send the rocket here, absolutely.
He knows.
Site secured now for C9, but Jaw's going fast. Can he get through this smoke? He's already ahead of the nade.
Superman on the flank as well. Paranoia comes out, taking his time. Jaw's also getting the kill on site. EG are heating up into this retake, but Zeppa slows that down. APOP is down. Jogamo scaling forward. Hunted down by the Seekers. But there's 3 players isolated off site. It's all on Jogamo now. 3 kills in the round already, but 2 mollies still yet to come. Down to 1 HP from the decay. He tries to bait out a shot, but the trade comes through from Rooney, and C9 get their round.
Great variation there from Cloud9, working early up into mid. And again, we saw this some in map number 1. Oxy, the way he paths with his satchels is consistently breaking timings. He was so fast during this one to win the round.
And he knows the Bleach is here because that's where Bleach threw the stun line from into A main. So that's why there was no question about it. Once he got that first kill, pops that showstopper. Very good awareness from him. Good comms from his teammate as well to pinpoint the location of the EG player.
So 3-2 now. Cloud9 pull ahead and reset EG onto an eco. For the first time this half, they'll turn their attention a bit towards B-man.
Yeah, and it's coming with throwing that A wall as well, so bit of a ruse done at round start. APOP chipped out big time.
My ultimate is ready.
C9 gonna hit the brakes a little bit here, threatened that they could have walked back into some mid space. That's what EG are ready to re-clear from, but as the smokers go down, here should be the hit.
Dog out onto site. Oxy gonna scale this one a little bit slower. The only real risk is if Super can find something over top there, but unfortunately he's not tens. And he only has a classic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's less to do with the fact he's not tens and more to do with the gun. Okay, is that what NT stands for these days?
Actually.
I always thought it was a nice try.
Language evolves.
That it does. So does the B post plants as well. Vandy playing on top of that box there. C9 getting a little crazy with this one, but making very nice work of Evil Geniuses on the low buy.
Yeah, clean anti-eco there. Flawless round.
And I want to see if C9 continue to throw this Viper wall over towards A. Last round they didn't use it, but it's pretty good at breaking those crossfire lines. Because C9 have been approaching A main from both the left and right side, the wall completely divides that. Get your ecos, pop off.
I mean, with how many eco frags Oxy's getting consistently, he's going to be about halfway back to that rocket.
Is that me?
Yeah.
I don't
Fast
like
into A main here for Cloud9. They're going to get ahead of that breach stun. Seized off, though. But they have the space.
EG are up into tiles, too, though. This is going to be a very fast flank if Jaw decides to activate on it.
He doesn't see anyone. Still a trip in front of him. But he can very easily heat up off some satchels once his teammates are pressured on the site.
Here we go. Satchel into sight. C9. Do they want to keep fighting? Oxy does. Brain off. Go fight.
Oxy fighting one side, Jaw
Spike
on
planted.
the other. These are the rounds-winning duels. Jaw's going to be the first one forward. Satchel onto the box. A hot, great combination. EG will pinch together. Nade into slant. Zeppa in trouble. Has to swing so wide, but he gets it done. Nice shot onto Jaw. Has to do more, though. Flash. He avoids it. Dink onto another. Vanity joining in that endeavor. Now the next layer. Apoth re-wrapping through elbow. Down. That's a massive kill for Moose. Now this refight into sight. So one-dimensional. Nature has no way to fight forward. He'll retreat.
Nature finishes off one, but C9 take the round, and it's all off of great reactions in the post plant. Realizing it's soft, identifying the lurk coming in, so Oxy takes that space back towards Alley, and comes back to assist the team in the fight. They really funneled EG into that one choke out through lane. And while, yeah, the first kill comes in and the initial wave of util looks good, it's the fact that then EG have players swinging in from the right, from the left.
Enemy remaining.
Staying very confident in those fights.
Timeout for Potter. You guys know it by now. EG tends to win rounds out of these timeouts.
Very
Map
true.
1, it was 2 off her timeout in round 9. In kickoff, it started their crazy comeback to really stay alive and make playoffs there. What's her call?
I mean, look, she was saying between games that a lot of what she did in game 1 was telling the team just not to get too ahead of themselves,
Sure.
right? When they were rushing a lot of their post plants. So here it could be something similar where she says, hey, actually we don't need a big flank going on. Perhaps let's just focus on the...
those flanks like every round.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of a change when it comes to those post plants. Could also set up for some more B main aggression, could be another idea. They've been so heavy into A, which does make some sense, but now that C9 have started to challenge a little bit more into mid, a little bit more towards B, could make adjustments that way as well. But what we saw from her in that first game too was also just a read for the rest of the half. It was a couple of very different looks the next 3-4 rounds after that initial timeout, and it kept C9 constantly guessing.
There's bigger adjustments likely to come a little bit later. This round, just one hero rifle for Apoth, everyone else on the eco. So as you see, the setup is more the same. Control towards A main early, the Cypher setup on B, the Omen being your rotator back through mid.
And after C9 have taken some faster rounds, really exploding into that early space after they lost basically on time a few back. Now they've been really testing into mid, looking to break down that util.
Jajimo's sending it. Haunt, even an ult committed. They're going for this one.
It was a util combo.
Yeah.
So Jaw, he did satchel up to try and fight off of that, but really they're looking for the chip damage, the decay of the Nightfall into the paint shell.
Yeah, that little bit extra damage combined with the other piece of utility can give you that insta-kill.
And the stun to hope the players can't run out. Unfortunately, just slightly delayed on that one.
Cool idea, though.
Yep. But at the same time, like I was saying, the tripwire top mid was broken. So now the rotates come in. We got a breach that went all the way back from A to hold there, raise there too, to make sure no one can creep up. And EG, mission number 1 for them is make sure they're not walking into a stack. Not on this anti-eco.
Scout destroyed.
There could be ideas in a second as well with this raise hiding out in mid. If Oxy wanted to just go crazy and get some satcheling going into market to fake some pressure over there, they could then buy some time for those A players to walk it back in.
Could
or
even
just
pressure
regroup
back
into
up
it.
towards mid.
Sure.
They know Nature's been kind of playing in that connector most rounds.
Here it comes. Paint shells through. No satchels just yet. Good counter paranoia from Supa.
Too far forward. Oxy takes him down. Player advantage picked up for Cloud9. They're going to excel into this B site now. Apoth had a hero rifle, and he's lining up a double. Derek finds a connection on his own flank. Apoth can't get more. 10 seconds. Plant needs to come down. Oxy protecting Rooney with his life. A fight towards spawn. 56 HP. The Stinger flying through the air as Nature helps out. Only Rooney. The return tour. Can he win the clutch? 1v1. Jaw drops down. Rooney holding the angle, finding the
Nice
shot.
shot.
He's back.
Rooney looking real good out there. Playing around his orb, calm with the aim. Not rushing into those fights. for the 3K and the Red Bull clutch.
30초 남았습니다. B 지점에 떨어졌습니다.
And this round almost ran away from them. But Rooney got the trade into Boba. And those two as well.
Better, bro. So much better, bro. Just keep up the pace, guys.
What he's saying.
Yeah, keep it up. Keep running it back. Of course, now EG with the bye. Made it close the last time and actually B main as 5 players? We've never seen this before.
Something new for C9.
Where do I go? Where do I go?
Whoa, that is some good adjustment out of him to figure out where that Omen's heading and get the kill.
No paranoia on the retake, no smokes on the retake. They cannot allow this spike to go down. I don't think they can play it out from here. Look for the flood of Util.
Nature has ult. He's sending it back into this side. Oxy stun, and he ties his own teammates. Molly as Jaw connects onto another. Now the showstopper for Jojima goes 1 for 1. Spike still in the hands of Vanity, but they're gonna even struggle to escape from this one because there's a flank coming.
Last player
And
standing.
Apop's got his other side. Derek on the shutdown too. EG, great reply. And I think that's the call we're getting out the timeout.
Oh, yeah.
Change the setup, Cypher to A, heavier setup on B.
But also, they found the only winning line in that round. That post plant in a 4v5 without smokes for B main, I just don't think it's happening. And they decide to flood out onto site with that breach ult. I really like that idea coming through from them.
And it goes back to Apop's Lotus again. So impactful on the attack side. On Lotus here on defense, getting proactive at just the right time on the flank.
2 rounds in a row with that A main walkout. The round before was Derek, now it's him. C9 must be aware.
And they'll send more forces towards A this round. As it's walk down mid for Jojima, player in that close corner. He's just not working. Free kill for Vanity.
There's another though. Do they anticipate the second? Doesn't even matter. Apop doesn't really look like he wants to hang out in that space. Well, C9 toy with the idea of accelerating into A, deciding against it.
I know exactly where.
What on earth? They pull back over Moose to get full information on this A side. And now they know 3 players kind of leaning towards A. It'll be tough.
Nade towards slant. It's going to be a fight into spawn, actually.
I like this.
C9 are bringing the spike, too. They can
I like that.
B. Zeppa gets a kill, and now they're going around the world, but they're going back into Superman.
It's a brilliant feint, but Superman only has a judge. He needs players to come into him. He can't very well fight back into the site. And yet all of C9 are sprinting back through Boba. With 5 players alive, Superman's best bet might be to run over and grab a gun from some other location.
Yeah, you see him teleport over. Just a Guardian to be recovered, but something a little bit better, as all 3 EG players will work their way through main.
EG have decided they're playing attack now. Sending 3 players into B main. They've got an Aftershock. Got the blast. A Paranoia too. They could set up a pretty solid attempt on this one.
But C9 have some really good crossfires here.
Yeah.
They don't have much time left. EG make the tough call to save.
The problem is without any threat coming into Market or Boba earlier, I think it's a little too readable for Cloud9, so they can turn their entire focus back towards main.
So 7-3. Cloud9 starting to run away with this attack side on Sunset.
Yeah, I mean, C9 have just been finding all the right answers in the mid rounds. Yeah, Nature's gonna find his couple of kills, but I mean, off of that ultimate from Moose, right? They see 2 players in elbow, 1 player shop, 1 player B. Pushing through their own smoke was such a cool call. I really like that. And then it opens up this entire pathway to just flood back into B. Because of the fact they also kill the Cypher, that shuts down all the defensive utility on the opposite side of the map.
Those last few kills at the end, pretty important. I mean, Superman's only gonna have a judge this round. Would have had
Again.
5 rifles otherwise.
This poor guy. Give the man a gun! Although he's gonna be taking that judge into B main. Could be really effective from that position. With that forward smoking, just kind of rat on top of that orb.
Yeah.
Same 1-1-3 for C9. This time they're actually just full
Camera
contact
taken
into A main. A main, that is. A lot of space already.
My ult's ready.
EG have loved fighting for elbow. And wow, the boombot blasted straight out of the air. Apop, so aggressive on the Cypher. Is traded out as Oxy finds a chance to escape from that one. But turn your attention to B main right now. Walking straight into that judge is Moose, and he is flattened.
Maybe the gun super needed in the end. He'll pick up a rifle now. But that means Cloud9's going to excel back over towards A. Once this one-way falls, expect this hit to come through. Both players from EG will group towards elbow and fight to wrap around the world here. Rooney, so astute at holding that angle. Jaw was ahead of the flash. He dies for it.
They're doing the same play, Mimi. The ult into elbow, I mean, there's still two there. This time Derek gets a kill. But the spike has still been picked up. I'm not sure if they know where the Omen is, but they want to play inside the pit regardless.
I mean, they could try and run through spawn, but that time's running out. Oxy has to get this spike down, and his pit is gone. 1v2. He'll walk up on Superman. Crossfire, though. Nature, can he swing in time to trade? This doesn't need to. Super gets the kill. EG, after a streak of losses, find a defensive round.
It's wild because all of these fights EG took didn't go as well as they wanted them to. This one in main, of course, but those refights into the line. It's been such a consistent thing EG have looked for, is re-aggressing down elbow. Whenever the round gets quiet, they're wanting to fight into this comp of C9's. But I think C9 have been fully aware of it. Their prep against EG solid, their fundamentals good when they're scaling. And yet it's EG that went out in the post plant. Something they've struggled a little bit with so far.
My camera is destroyed. Wow, my eyes are down.
Georgimo swinging into mid, but just gonna walk away off that satchel. Oxy's gonna fight for it though, at least wanted to take a peek on that line, sees nothing, he'll retreat.
I've got your trail. Okay.
Seekers come out, starting over in tiles, and that's going to give a lot of information over towards this B side. Superman dodges away as the paranoia goes out. But Oxy can't really scale up either. This C's has kept them locked up, it's kept them low. But it's a 1-for-1 now. EG, two players in the backside. Derek can't connect the shots. Jogamo tries to try as well, but it's all in vain.
Oxy just kills them all. He won't get to use that rocket for anything good. But they've set themselves up to win this round. It's a 2v4 retake for EG. And they're so slow.
You've got to go for it. Wall broken, and there's a dude there.
He has the ult now. That's going to be good info. Maybe it's possible for EG. Stun onto Oxy.
Yeah, but Rudy's playing lineups from his own spawn. Yeah, they're getting kills, but the mollies have already started to be sent out. They've got to go fast. And the time is working against them. Around the corner goes Vanity. In a 1-on-2, remains Nature.
It's just over.
Tick, 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 it's running away. And he's not even gonna have a chance. He waits it out. C9 get 8 in the first half.
Great way to close it. A lot of similarities to map number 1 in the first half, with EG having some solid ideas early on, but losing some rounds to sloppy execution. The difference is, when EG adapted here, Cloud9 stayed ahead of it. Oxy's having a great game. Their sight hits throughout this one in the late rounds have been super well executed. They are in control.
Make this easy, make this easy.
Valorant the musical. Oxy the star.
Well, a great half for Cloud9 to start, but let's send it over to GB and the analyst desk for the half.
Thank you for that, Mimi. And yes, that was a great half for C9, 8-4 as they come out of that on Sunset. And an even better half for Oxy, because your boy's out there fragging.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing absolutely insane. That's an easy thing to look at, but if I want to very quickly zoom out from that, because I think there are a lot of things that Cloud9 are doing exceptionally well in the face of the comp that they're having to navigate against on the attack side that played beautifully. They played the map masterfully. It wasn't like Lotus where we thought, oh, Cloud9 kind of gave these, or EG kind of gave them away. No, Cloud9 won this half. They won it by avoiding all the trap plays. They won it by poking and prodding around the map and then rotating through, and then Oxy happens. So you play the beginning and then you just let Oxy.
No, that's definitely the Oxy I know. I think when you have a young duelist player like that, you want to get him all the early kills. He's going out first. He's farming the ecos. He's getting that confidence.
Yeah.
And it's necessary. He gets into like a flow state. He's doing a really good job. EG has some trap plays you've noticed, and he's doing a good job of getting one and getting out, beating those timings. And that's just all on his skill.
We're on the other side, though. That's a beautiful ACS there in that first half. But I would just say, like, you know, kind of like when you look at Jog and what happened to him in a few times in that first half, that same problem of, you know, like over peaking, trying, like I think Nature was going to set up a flash, but Jog went ahead of it, right? Those are going to be the things that I think this EG team needs to kind of reel in a bit more. And you can't just be in a situation, Shazam, where you're just trying to make plays happen for the sake of making plays. Yeah,
you can't force the issue. You have to do it when the time is right. You could tell that they've had these like trap plays and they're missing the timings. Like the stun is off, Jog misses satchel once. There's a plan behind it. They're just not hitting it.
Yeah.
I think Mimi said it well. They're adjusting. EG are trying to. Cloud9 are a step ahead of it. I think it just caused fits the entire time.
Well, let's see if EG can shake it off moving into this next half. Send it back over to Mimi and Ender.
Thanks to the desk. Hopping back into this one now. C9, if they can win this pistol, they're on the road to seal this one up and send us to split.
Pistols haven't been so easy for them to win so far. Lost the first one, but it always gives us a chance to see the round 2 Guardian come into play, so I can't complain.
Remember, game 1, 7-5 up for Cloud9. They lose the pistol, they lose the bonus, and the game slips out their hands.
Whoa, 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 what was that? Just stepping into B main, Rooney falls. That's no Viper wall, and yet Oxy has crept up into that back corner. Diligent clear, but Oxy gets his 20th kill of the game. This guy has been unleashed here on Sunset. Over a 400 ACS in the first half, and well, the shots aren't quite connecting there. But a light peppering onto Apoth will send him out of the space.
Revolutionary war firing lines in mid. No one hits anything.
Warning shots on both sides.
Zappa will eventually get a connection, so that's an advantage. C9 and Apoth.
Oh, he saw the shoulder.
Here. Moose on the hunt. Moose jumping at him and gets the kill.
But now over to Shop, swinging around the corner. Moose gets another couple. C9 win their pistol. Not every day you see the Moose, the one hunting the man.
The most dangerous game.
You didn't expect it today, but that's what we got.
It's crazy that Oxy still found so much value in that round. After his teammate just gets picked off, he then gets a stun, a nade, a flash, all in his face. He's just fine. Keeps fighting.
What can't he do? You know, it's funny because I was looking at the buy from Oxy, and for a second, all he had was a Marshall, which I know he almost got an ace with last game. But it's funny that he's thinking about buying a baby gun after he wins a round, as opposed to when he goes on the eco and gets the Guardian. He's been trusting that, though, and is back to the Guardian for the second round.
Only classics for EG. They won't make any similar investments.
Yep. Yep.
Get your ecos, Oxy.
Spike down B. One enemy.
Oh, ridiculous.
White's clean.
A little
So
bit too easy.
10-4.
Yeah.
Cloud9, I mean, really taking control of this map.
Thing is, Jogamo, or EG with Jogamo, have a lot of really good tools for actually full execing into a site. It's a big stylistic difference between these two teams, whereas C9 would do a lot more so playing, working around their Viper wall and whatnot. EG can bully for space much earlier into rounds. Just have to worry about getting stalled out if they ever walk into a side of the map where the Viper and the Cypher are set up.
And I think you might see that here already. Breach flash primed in main. Jog gonna fast scale off that, even a little teleport to follow up.
Kind of cute.
Yeah.
Apoth, though, doesn't know a player stepped all the way up here in mid.
Oxy.
Oh, he doesn't go for the full clear. How have they gotten around each other? And there's another guy right next to him. What is going on? Rooney is there and gets the kill, but
and
now
Oxy's so deep.
Yes, and the trips have been shut off. We're already up on the flank from Oxy.
He's so fast. No one's looking. EG decimated by Oxy. 2 more players.
He's still going.
Paranoia, a nade. He wants another. Oxy has been shutting them down single-handedly, and he will keep that trend. A swing, he's dead, but the trades are there. Cloud9. What a bonus to win.
It's the Oxy show. I don't know what else to say. He just full walks up mid on the timing. His teammate getting the kill completely unlocks the flank.
I mean, what a weird way to start this round.
Just obscene. Pinching in with his teammates to finish off that round.
That's my Crimson Beast right there.
Yes, sir. I'm just in. I'm just in like that. I'm just in.
Wait.
What is he even saying?
I have no idea.
I don't know. But a dude's gotten 25 kills in 15 rounds.
Yeah, pretty good, I think.
He's only died 10 times. Wow. And that was the bonus.
Yeah. We've had some cope about the Potter timeouts this game. This one feels too far gone. 11-4 already.
I mean, truthfully, you can say as much as you want in a timeout, but when there's only 2 rounds that C9 need to win, with Oxy playing like this, he's going to have 2 rounds left in him to just single-handedly dominate.
And if it's not that, it's just wait, charge up all our ults. We have like Seekers, Showstopper for a retake, run you over.
Because right now EG they have to force. There's no other option going into this round.
Every round for the rest of the game.
Now, the critical moment, I think, is going to be decided between these 2 races because they're both one-off Showstopper. Jogamo has the best gun on his team, Guardian. That's a 1-tap. Depending on how that fight goes, especially with both of them, Jaw and Oxy set up for this early fight in B main. Last time C9 crept in here, C9 destroyed. Oxy destroyed. But this would give EG a massive advantage if Oxy could find the kill.
Can Jaw get it done?
Oh, he's ready.
Low on HP already. Oxy
Nice shot.
just rips him out of the server. It's effortless.
Oh, that's it. You're not winning this round, EG. Sorry. Try your best.
I mean,
look at Apos sprinting out in here. He got a kill, but Oxy's got another. Oxy's got 3 kills here.
I don't even know how he's finding this many fights. Look, the guy started B main, runs all the way back through market, gets a kill there, doubles back, helps his teammate towards spawn, and then is back in main to take that last fight of the round. 28-10 in a stomp.
But this round does everything. And there was spam kill from his teammate that helped Oxy out a little bit. He sees the shoulder because he's the one jiggling for the wider angle. Oxy just approaching these fights in such a calm and such a smart manner.
Chrissy, he almost has 2 kills a round on average.
Yep, it happens.
28 kills in 16 rounds. I can't get over it.
And he's going for this walk up again. Again, Mimi, he gets it. Now the Showstopper out. That's 30. That's 30 kills for Oxy. And he's only just now shut down as Apoth brings it back. Moose in a 1v3.
Mission accomplished. We killed Oxy. We can win the round now. 1v3 for Moose. It'd be quite a way to close it.
Moose has been quite clutch. And it's just felt like one of those games.
Jaw only has a Bucky, but he has a nade, flashes, and aftershock. It shouldn't be possible.
Now you've gone and done it.
He'll walk into main.
Sniffing out the trail.
Jaw, Bucky, down. Stun is good, and Apoth swings. Lovely stuff from EG. They get another.
They get another, and also they eat up Oxy's Showstopper. That's a major win for them, taking that one out of commission. Because Oxy, again, he started this round off so great. But Apoth playing on those little angles there in mid. Playing them so nicely. Really the hero in that round. Mimi, Vanity's got an operator.
Okay.
Just hanging out over in market right now. Holding that line. A different approach from EG. I like that from Jogamo. Instead of slow playing it, he was hoping Oxy was there. And you love to see that, right?
Yeah.
Confidence not lost for a second.
Vanity had a good position, but the util is nice to push him away. It's gonna be a little bit tough to find a line to play with this operator now for Vanity. As EG floods into the B side, that's a great smoke. To support Rooney on the side, he has a 1v1 against Jaw. If Jaw picks his timing right, he could close this round. Give the opportunity. He'll swing. Trades out onto Vanity. It's 2 for 2 as EG have a chance to plant.
And look in mid, Apoth, late player in tiles. It's planned for him to come late into market.
Moose has a Cypher ult. If he can find a body here, they'll reveal that lurk.
C9 taking their time. They haven't seen Apoth, and that is funny. Now the hat's thrown out. Apoth seen going back into main. They can focus all their attention into main.
Here
Oxy
comes Oxy.
Sees the players, comes around the corner. Knows Jaw is behind the bend, and Moose gets the first. Second to come, almost, as Derek comes back around in for 3 on the round. Moose in a 1-on-1. Moose to win the game.
No problem.
Goes for the sick, still taking on it, goes for the fight. The time
No
is
time.
running low. Apoth has waited him out. While Moose gets the 3rd kill, it's EG with the round.
So damn close. But EG stay alive again.
Every single round down to the wire in an EG win.
EG no stranger to the comeback. We saw it in kickoff. But again, it just takes one round, one moment. And both of these have been nail biters thus far. Taking some real heroics out of Derek there to save it for EG.
Is Potter still keeping it light?
Satchel out.
Quickly, up into elbow from Jaw. Nightfall out-techs 3 players, I believe. EG can really apply the pressure off that. Watch mid right now. Apoth crept up.
He's so fast on this one. Moose down. Cage to get away.
He's still going.
Just keep running. He has a paranoia onto Oxy. Oxy doesn't look at him. Apoth is running them over. A confident call from EG, and it pays off.
Apoth is quickly becoming one of my favorite attacking Sentinel players in Americas. So aggressive on those lurks. And absolutely no fear. It seems like a game almost where EG probably wrote it off a couple of rounds ago, but with each round win, you start feeling it a little bit more. It's like, we've got a chance to do the funniest thing.
I mean, that's kind of a powerful state to be in, where you've written the game off, okay, we can win on split, that's fine. And then Apoth's like, guys, I'm in a full sprint up spawn, give me a paranoia, I'm gonna kill too.
This is where you try all the things that Potter would never let you try in scrims. It's like, hey, she wasted her timeouts. It's my time to shine. Give me that Noya.
But it's things like that, it's risks like that that kind of build the energy back up, let you have fun, let you let loose a little bit, and can be the start of a comeback.
Yeah. And honestly, it was a pretty well put together play. The cages to cover the cross. And I mean, with all the utility flooding into the site, look how many, they were just blinded the entire time.
One enemy remaining.
That's what's so cool to watch about the breach comps on this map, that you can have that stun for the Cypher top mid and still have 2 flashes, aftershock, haunt combined for the execute. There's a lot of like flexibility for cross-map util. It almost kind of plays like an Astra does sometimes, where you can be setting up 2 different plays almost at the same time.
Yeah, you've got that super long range ability, whether it's the Astra Stars or like you're talking about in this game, the breach stun for sure. So, C9, they're going to be the ones to call a timeout here. Quick reset for them. Obviously, Apoth proved to be a problem in that last round, but that's not going to be something EG can replicate a ton. But I think
Can't run up mid every round.
I mean, they could try. That's for sure. I think, honestly, what I'd kind of like C9 to try is a more passive A setup. Maybe with their Cypher, their Omen over there, they can play the high box angle and sort of play off of site and flood back in. A lot of times when you're playing against a breach and you're on defense, you don't actually want to be sticking your body on the site. You want to be playing in the smokes, and then after that util goes down, you want to peek back into that line, take those fights quickly. So you dodge the utility effectively. You can also try to get in front of the plays like they're set up to do right now, but that can be pretty tough when the only tools you really have are one-time use between the Omen and the Sky.
Hey, main, the man of the match, Oxy. Gonna insta-break this camera, and actually with that tag, isn't allowed to fight up.
Last 2 rounds, Oxy hasn't found a kill. Now he's back onto the aggressive line and looking for another. Satchel on the wide swing, supported by the dog. But EG are already running. They do not want to mess with that guy.
Not too bad of an exchange for EG, because they still have this Rolling Thunder to fight back in. Satchel for Jaw, Raze v Raze, he is on the hunt. But the nade will keep him back. Oxy's still safe on this site. EG have to turn their attention towards Elbow.
It's a minor miracle that Oxy survives there.
That's the rocket online. That's why they slow down the round.
And right now, Tripwire just broken in market. Eyes on Apoth on the lurk. Tons of pressure applied into mid. Now the rotate comes through.
Here comes a re-clear for Cloud9. Zeppa on the swing. Supa finds it. 2-4-2. Oxy needs to do a lot more though if he wants to keep himself alive here. No teammates to support, but now this lurk for Apoth.
Back into Apoth. Bruni waiting for him, but can't get the kill. B site completely open for EG.
They'll call back into him. And C9, with no util but 1 cage, have to make this retake happen.
They can close the door behind them as well. A Cypher camera in Boba spots out that site as well. 25 seconds. Oxy is going so fast. What is this player?
Last player standing.
Derek takes him down, but C9 are playing so loose.
That is a ridiculous call. You're in a 2v3, you're trying to close out the round, and he full sprints through the closing door. Mission Impossible style.
Spike down.
My, oh my.
And that was only after getting 2 kills to start that round. But you're gonna need more than Oxy heroics to close this game for C9.
One remaining.
I would not be surprised to see C9 try to fight into mid this round. That is 2 rounds in a row. Apoth have blown them up. And EG are bringing firepower of their own. Oxy out of market, but the whole crew is here for EG. It's not always been enough though. The fall line in, Oxy dodges it out. Paranoia 2B's back into the line. Jaw takes him down.
Jaw has been diffing Oxy in these last few rounds.
I have the spike.
Reminding Oxy who he is.
There, I have the spike.
Now this round chills out a bit. The star's dead. It's just a Bucky as
Yeah,
Stinger
C9.
left alive.
They don't really have much of anything, do they?
EG in a winning position. They'll double back towards Zach.
Biggest win for C9 here, I think. Get that showstopper out of commission. EG might try to play without that one. They got to hold on to everything they can, but this Bucky around the corner. Vanity with the Bucky, baby. He always finds a way. TP's out as well. Uses the blast as a little bit of cover himself.
And Rooney's gotten one with the Sheriff.
That's the lurk dealt with. The Rooney Sheriff is always good for a kill, Mimi.
They've only picked up one gun, but Vanity still has a Bucky. And in this angle, it's potent. Flash up. He is so blind. EG floods out.
One
Superman,
enemy
1 for 1. It's only Derek. Needs to win a clutch to keep his team alive. This was just an anti-eco. There should have been no world where this was winnable. And now Derek is forced to run around the world blinded, sitting in a molly. It's done. Cloud9 on the eco.
Okay.
Close it out and deny EG the comeback.
The absolute fakest of comebacks. Players get a little rowdy on stage, Vanity and Jaw. But I think EG kind of did write that one off for a second. They started playing really loose, and I think playing it away, that gives them some amount of confidence going back into that third map.
Cloud9 though, exactly what they needed here. Trading opponents' map picks. Now we head into split.
C9's responses, I think, especially in the first half, were so good. I really liked their moment-to-moment calling in the rounds. Falling out of their preset plans, adjusting to what EG was showing them. And EG showed them a lot of these re-aggros. C9 dealt with them effectively every single time.
Now we've talked about him a lot, but you still gotta talk about Oxy. An impressive map from the young man. Even in that win over Leviathan, it was not a takeover game for him like this one was. Love to see it for the rookie.
I do love that the final round is the one that he's not needed. He dies instantly, his team's got an eco, and it doesn't matter. Then you've still got the Rooney Sheriff. You've got the Vanity Bucky. C9 can fall back into those pieces.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem. Thanks. Ooh, yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None, yeah, none feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro on us. Only on Verizon.
just kind of protocols to make them think twice.
Rudy with 3. A second one down to the feet. A third! And he gets the ace!
And C9 manages to answer back, winning EG's map pick on Sunset, forcing us to a split for map number 3. I gotta say though, really, we talked about it on the half, but there was just so many positives to pull away from C9 here. It did genuinely feel like a team that learned from their mistakes in map 1 and were more aware and more ahead of what EG wanted to try and execute on map 2.
Yeah, it really felt like they had a very good understanding of what EG were trying to do. They adjusted ahead of it when, we saw so many times Potter would call a timeout. Oftentimes, they went around, they went 2 rounds off of that. Wasn't really the case this time around. And, obviously it helps when you've got your star duelist just destroying anything that EG was trying to do. I think he put up, 30 something ridiculous.
So we'll see it in a little bit.
You could make the argument that he was a breath of fresh air.
Oh. Like oxygen, perhaps?
Perhaps.
You clever devil. Well, no, let's go ahead, though, and just cover the overall general highlights from this one, because there really were, it was just like the Oxy show for a good chunk of it, Shazam. But also, all of C9 at certain moments contributing, right, and setting up Oxy for those plays so that he can be that breath of fresh air we know him to be.
No, definitely. C9 seemed really well aware of EG's attempt at aggressing A, their trap plays, and you could tell Vanity was lurking in the tiles, tucking into the corners, waiting for Jaw to get aggressive down mid, looking for Apot to get down mid and pick him off. So it seemed like they had a good understanding of how EG wanted to approach the match and how to counter it.
I think it was important that he took a deep breath.
Okay, enough's enough. Get out. Get out. You're done.
I couldn't even finish this.
Wyatt, though, as we get ready for this, you're just off the goof, dude. Just dying inside. Need some air. Okay, so let's, though, dive into map 3, though, because there's a lot of interesting things regarding this, and interesting in that they haven't really done. Now, I don't think it's Icebox. Was it Icebox? Am I tripping? Was it Split or was it Icebox?
I'm pretty sure
I told you not to bring the edible stork today.
I didn't do it today. I'm just. We'll
I don't know what map it is.
Yeah, it's either Split or it's Icebox.
Split. I'm pretty sure we're being fed false news.
Let's prep both.
Well, let's find out.
Hold on. How about that? That looks like Split to me.
So what I'm looking for on this map on Split
it wasn't my fault this time.
What I'm looking for on Split right now is the Cypher head-to-head.
Yeah.
Moose has always performed so well on this map, on that agent, and Apoth right now is just doing whatever he wants. He's running the map.
He really is.
He's taking every single timing, and he's winning duels off.
There was literally a round where they're just like, hit me, give me a paranoia. I'm just gonna go mid.
On that map, he was 6 for 2 on first kills on Cypher. That's just crazy. And yeah, we've got the head-to-head. We've seen how dominant Cypher is on this map, like a la John QT winning Madrid. I mean, it's just a great agent here. I think those two guys are going to pop off.
And nothing out of the ordinary here, really, that we're seeing on Split. It's about the bog standard of what we come to expect on this map, Shazam.
No, for sure. I'm a really big fan of this comp on Split. I think Cypher gets a lot of value. The info, you're not really forced 3 clear areas. And what you said about Apoth is true. That attack side comeback was just off the back of him. He was not afraid to take space constantly, and he was winning every first duel.
I think if they carry that same energy that they had at the tail end of that game, Doug, you're looking at a potential situation here where EG could find this win, but C9 has to be feeling good after that one.
Oh, yeah. I think all momentum is their way, and even with some of the fake comeback at the end, you can look past that, right? If you're Cloud9, you understand why things were going that way. It was primarily off of heroics and opening things up, like you guys mentioned, and I think you can look at those and go, we understand why that happened the way it did. That's not necessarily easily replicated, so you can move on from there.
Yeah, well, we'll see if EG can score their first win of the stage, or will Cloud9 manage to pick up their second championship point of the year. You got one last stand for both of these teams. Let's go ahead and send it back over to Mimi and Ender for the call.
We're looking to be sensible here. Analyst says far too silly, and for us, nothing silly has ever happened when we cast a map 3 split on a Monday.
No, nothing. Wait.
Nothing.
Wait, nothing.
But this is an important one for EG especially, to get that first win of stage 1 here.
And to show that they can bounce back, right?
Yes.
They got trounced last week. Now, after a really tough
on map 2 as well.
Exactly. Now they have that chance in map 3 to bring it on back here in Split.
Apoth had a great game despite the loss there, owning in the opening kills for his squad. But for Cloud9, Oxy was taking over. Some great calls from Vanity to close that one out. It all comes down to this, map 3, Split.
Indeed it does. C9 are gonna have to find some way of shutting down Oxy. Maybe distracting with some with marine life, something like that. We'll see. EG, just playing for a little bit of mid, but look how fast C9 have blitzed their way into B main. 3 players flashing out with the paranoia, and EG will have heard all of that. That should cue a speed up here over into main, and it does.
They're splitting fast towards Heaven, looking to isolate these players in main, but Oxy's gotten quite deep. Blinded over towards Hell and swinging out. He still gets a kill on Jaw. That is wild that he wins that.
That's not how you shut down Oxy. Already starting it off strong. Rooney comes up. Oh, the stairs, and he gets the kill. Now grouping with his teammates. C9 got 4 players here. They dish out the healing in a 5-on-3. Now getting everyone up to just about full.
They're going to re-clear into Heaven now. Both teams, in fact. But Nature's alone here. He's walked all the way back over towards mid.
Oh, I like this.
Crossfire with Apop.
Oh,
no
yeah.
one's clearing Nature, but he only gets 1 kill, and Apop a little too far away to swing. No, he finds his opportunity just in the nick of time. Will dive back towards spawn, find a dink on another, but it's only him. And he's pinched by Moose and down.
C9 win the round, and it comes in with a nice trade there for Moose at the end, but I have to just shout out how freakish Apoth has looked this series in the best possible way. His lurks in both games were devastating, and when you look at last game, if you look at first kills, Apoth had 6 in the game that he played, and he only died first twice. For context, Oxy, who had 33 kills, was 5-3 in those openers. This guy has been otherworldly today.
Ridiculous stuff. Moose as well, though. I feel like on his debut as well, it's his second match now, has had a lot of these kind of late round clutch moments that have been super impactful.
If Apoth is the start of round, you know, Sentinel Supreme, Moose is the guy that closes it out every time.
Little bit of tech pause on stage. Audio issue. Looks like they're sorting it out with Vanity now.
Yeah, so usually you have to put the headphones in order to hear the things. So that's the adjustment he's going to be making.
Smart edge, yeah.
It's an important one, that's for sure. Something tells me it runs a little deeper than that. Oxy's a big chiller back there. Look at that.
He's Osboss. Same guy.
I haven't seen him in the same room.
Dropping 30+ kills? Yes. Lying back in the chair during tech pauses? Yes.
Yeah, Oxy was actually like trying to, you know, say something. I said, no, Oxy, stop thinking. Just take a quick nap. Just get ready. The second round's coming up in just a second. We need you at your peak.
Looks like we're plugged back in on stage.
Looks like a new in-ears. Love that form. Talking back with his teammate. At the same time, though, EG have a little chance to think things over. Don't think they've got much of an opportunity to go for a force or anything like that, but if they wanted to seriously have a consider about their economy, this would be an opportunity to do so.
We're back.
We're back.
In-ears fixed. Water, trunk, game resumed.
Do you think the entire game is just going to be a slow pan reveal of the turtle?
I think so.
I think every single one. They're getting creative with them now.
Yeah. It is. It is.
And that's what the people come for. Valorant, it's a nice bonus on the side.
Pretty good game. Vanity, with his in-ears working again, will anchor over towards B here with the Stinger. A couple players from EG pressuring there, maybe just looking to grab this orb.
Think about all the things Vanity can hear now. From the shot spammed to an orb tap. But they're not even going to waste any time. Here comes the double push out.
Think just off the fade of that smoke.
Yeah.
4 players lined up. And I think poor Nature just stuck his toes through.
Yeah. Vanity saw a little bit, got the read, got the shots. it'll happen. There's no way Apoth, right?
No.
No. He's clicking to that cam so bad, he wants someone to peek and try to break the camera. He's begging for it practically.
Great timing on that molly for Rooney. It gets a kill.
Mid.
Drops that spike. They know that the spike now going to head back over through mid and into this A site.
Tripwire destroyed.
One enemy remaining.
All right,
Cloud9.
EG, they get their little buy now. And with mirror comps here, it gives us a great case study of how these teams sort of find the different ways to play against each other once we switch over to the other side. I think what EG are going to be banking on a ton, especially because it looks like they're investing, you know, Viper Orb, Viper Wall over towards this B site early. It's just about unleashing Apoth on ramp. They've actually given him the support of Jogamo a couple of times now. You can see the last round, Jogamo sort of escorted him up through ramp early on. This time, Jogamo going back into sewers to peek down into mid. But if Apoth can get up into ramp and break some of those Cypher pieces of utility, that'll be very important later in the game. But you can expect pretty slow rounds typically with these style of comps. It's all about those timings, the late round pivots, the misinformation.
Cover going out.
Oxy just a judge in A main there. And Jaw with full control towards mid.
Notice how that flash pinged on the left side of the smoke there. So that was specifically to see if someone was embedded in that corner. Because if you throw that high and wide, not so precise with the information. That was a true scouting flash from the sky.
That dog coming through from the attacking side, now pressuring towards B. Apoth, he's been drawn into the trap.
And that flash allows Oxy to only look that one direction. It's perfect, but EG can accelerate now into the B site. Tons of stall here, though, between Rooney and Moose on the Cypher. These two players bunker back, dodge away from the paranoia, are aware that Jaw is on the entry, but it might not even matter. Moose isolated on the site and taken down, but two players quickly up into heaven. Oxy is ready on the retake, and with only 30 seconds to plant the spike, EG have a lot of work to be done.
30 seconds left.
2v2 now. Some gas left on that Viper Wall. Nature will drop it, ready for the fight.
C9 choose to separate.
Flashes, satchels though for Oxy. He's just walking out. Derek has no idea, and his own teammate's wall means that Nature can't trade. 1v2 for him now. Oxy ready with Zeppa on the other side of the wall. They shut it down. That's a bonus round converted to C9.
I'd be scared in the server up against Oxy. This guy is just pushing. Like, you remember back to the last couple of rounds on Sunset, he just started flying in late in rounds. So confident in his own ability. And there it's a good play. Off the flash, he knows they've got to go for that stick on the plant. And the flash forced the teammate away. It gave him that angle. Good comms, good team play between Oxy and Zeppa there.
But for all the credit we've given Apoth early in that round, gets drawn into the setup there, activates the lurk a little bit early, falls that judge. That's a crux of that. That's the only reason Oxy had that rifle late rounds to win on that retake.
Again, though, I think the way Zeppa chose to flash into main was very good.
Yes.
And set that up so nicely. Jogmo fast, not gonna let that judge come into play this time. Instead, taking it with pace up into heaven.
But look at the spike towards heaven. Cloud9 flooding back in on the eco. That is a quick little adjustment for Zeppa. And it's going to be a quick conversion on this anti-eco for C9. Oxy can get ult here if he finds his last kill. Or if he dies.
Something tells me not going to happen. Oh my lord.
He's only got 40 health.
Yeah, we're not going to be too much of believers.
No.
But honestly, like, what a gorgeous round from C9. Just refighting through there. Whenever I use the word refight, re-aggro, all I mean is after the attacker has taken space, defense refighting into that territory. In this case, it's ramp, and you try to catch them in transition. Wow, headshots everywhere. Not enough to win the round, but enough to make C9 fear that sheriff.
You defined a word with the word in your definition. The dictionary is going to be very mad.
Yeah, you know, Merriam-Webster in shambles.
They're after you. So a 4-0 start for C9. And Vanity's opping again. We saw this a little treat at the end of Sunset.
I really like this. specifically when your Raze has a rocket. And that's what Oxy's got right now, because usually on this map, like sometimes you will see Omens go for the op, but it's a little bit more common to see Raze take the op into that slot. So when you press tab and you see, oh, enemy Raze has ultimate, that Raze is never buying an operator, because they're probably wanting to fight close range. If anything, they might low buy and take something like a Judge to be able to play with as a second. So when you then are in Vanity's shoes and you decide to go for that op, it gives you the ability to post that op on one side of the map. That can all of a sudden become your weak side, where you only have the one player on that forward line, and then the other side can set up some kind of a trap around that Raze rocket.
And that is kind of an exception to how Vanity normally calls. I feel like most of the time you're watching him, he's paired up with Oxy, re-pushing, re-clearing space, while they're leaving a kind of Moose as that weak side on the Cypher. But the op gives an interesting variant to those rounds, where you can kind of instead use that pressure to funnel people into that operator, which makes it even more deadly.
We'll see how Vanity actually chooses to play it, because if you look at the minimap over on the B side, you've got the Raze ult with that operator in Vanity's hand. So Vanity is on the forward line here. And then I think after that, when he TPs out and EG try to blast into the site to return fire and kill him, that's where the rocket, and it's a trap play built around the op, which is really unique.
EG's heading straight into it. But Jaw has just decimated Vanity, and he tries to get above the rocket. Won't succeed at his tricks this time. Oxy swings through the Viper wall.
Dude, this guy
ridiculous.
This guy is just different.
And that's the only reason they come out ahead in that exchange.
Yeah. The idea was very cool. It didn't work, unfortunately, because of the missed shot and the inability to teleport away.
He barely even shot. To be fair, Vanity just kind of got owned.
He just got owned. Yeah, okay, fair.
It happens.
It happens to the best of us. Now that EG are in a disadvantage numbers-wise, though, this is where they have to start scouting forward. So a dog just ran up into mid, didn't see anything. Apoth should be quickly familiar that it's a Cypher on this side of the map. You can kind of deduce that after the op and the Raze rocket are over towards B. So EG will eventually start rotating back into the Cypher, but none of this utility has been dealt with yet.
Screen down. Cypher cam in A heaven. That a hold buys a lot of time for these rotates to come over for C9.
And double kill trips that Moose can spam off of from screens as well. A smoke there would actually help him if it was possible.
Yeah. And I don't think that was even the kill trip, just spam to start.
Look at him go. Just re-peeking in.
And there's even still one more trip left on this side, so they know no one's pushed deep. Apoth stuck in this. No one's watching. No one looks at Apoth and he finds a kill because of it. Nature has picked one up as well. 2v2. How are they winning this round? Moves into elbow. Just running it down basically on his own there. The IGL in the clutch. Both sides have full information on their opponent. And the spike ticks in favor of Nature. Moves low on HP. Tap on the spike. He buys his time. Not falling for that one. Now the swing comes through and C9 was ready. 5-0. The dominance continues.
It's just Oxy again. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this guy, yeah, the rocket is whatever. It's the re-swing back in here after he pulls out the gun. Fully decayed, running through that wall. Moose does a good job playing off his trips, going for the swing from screens as well to soften up EG on the attack, but that's the first 5 in a row now. Or C9.
Hutter already used a timeout this half as well. This is starting to get towards dangerous territory already for EG.
C9 have flip-flopped their Cypher again, back over towards the B site, so never allowing themselves to be read by evil geniuses. Jagomo's got a showstopper. How's he gonna use it? Right now, stepping back over towards B main, it looks like. Just trying to insert Superman, but there's a Judge and he gets spammed trying to teleport out. All this space in mid, so hard to fight into, especially with the low buy.
Just a stinger at range against Rooney. It's been somewhat of a gift, even the odds for a moment, but now EG's activating onto this B site. Rocket up, but there's still cages in Jaw's face. He's not really going to be able to find value out of this ult, and Derek's all but dead in mid. As Zeppa finally finishes the job. 3v3. Only a dog for Zeppa in way of utility for this retake, apparently as well from that flanking Omen.
C9 fully isolated here. Dog comes out. How much will it see? One player in hell. That is all. Apoth so low on Raptor. But C9 have to get a move on. Paranoia doesn't connect, but Zeppa is in there regardless. The trades come in, C9 snapping around from every corner, and it's Jogamo up against Moose. 25 HP. But the clock is winding down. The clock is winding, Jaw turns around the corner and gets EG there first.
A lovely clutch from Jogamo. The last man of old EG.
Now I want to look at how EG have actually been setting up this attack towards the B side. That time it works, but what we've seen a few times now is the Viper Orb, the lineup, being thrown pretty late. Actually, let's check this one out first.
Yeah, this was a nice Red Bull clutch.
EG was monstrous here. Jaw playing it so nicely. Level-headed in that one as well. Not letting themselves get carried away after that round. Once again, C9 setting up for this bit of a trap with a couple players in vent. Oxy ready to swing out of that smoke on mail too.
This could turn into a trap for C9. Flash, Molly, nade, all ready to go into that orb. Oxy spots out Jogamo, spams and wins through the smoke.
And EG are working with no space on the map right now. Apoth has not gotten aggressive towards A. EG trying to reclaim that rifle. And reset back towards A. No Cypher on this side of the map, but Vanity has been playing this very forward line with the forward smoke as well the entire time. C9 know that there's been no chance to creep up into ramp. That also means Apoth hasn't popped the cages yet. And those can allow the scale across.
Cage triggered.
There's that first cage.
Two players bunkered into sight though. This is gonna be an ordeal.
And a Viper's pit committed. This becomes really difficult now for EG to break through. Molly's at the feet of Vanity.
20 seconds.
He's vulnerable. Just needs to buy time. EG have to get the plant down 15. They tap on the spike. Rooney is still alive in this pit, and he is making himself a problem. Super sticking. The spam not connecting, but Cloud9 has found enough kills. It's the Alamo for Superman, and it's not going well.
EG just had no info to work with in that round. Gambled it all going into that A site, but really working themselves out of time. They're gonna need Jaw to stay up in these rounds if they're gonna have any ability to explode out. And I feel like they've just kind of been getting crushed in this mid space. Like there, yeah, it's around like a smoke fading.
Kind of a 50-50.
Yeah, it's a small little thing that doesn't go your way and sort of cooks the round, but
the thing is, it's consistently been those little things not going EG's way.
Beautiful round, baby. Beautiful round.
Not making big adjustments. C9 keeping it easy. EG, it's just back into mid, back into mid. When are they gonna dive onto ramp? When are they really gonna pressure that A main space early?
I want to credit Zeppa a lot for how C9's been calling around this one. His util's been super proactive at re-clearing into A main, flushing out Apoth, and then going back and being able to set up these bigger trap plays in mid, over towards B. And
not again.
Where does that even come?
It's just a spam through the orb.
That's brutal. It is just an eco round here, but this has been happening consistently. EG goes for mid control, loses a player early, and then are just trying to hobble their way forward from a 4v5.
Moving back into this Cypher site. Trying to fall down into it, but Oxy playing on such a nice angle. Gets the first kill, dodging around. I mean, it's 180s for the 3K.
He's just styling on them at this point.
All right. How many is he up to now?
11.
11 and 8 rounds.
Not bad.
Nah, he's done better. Just an easy day of work for him.
Hard to impress.
Yeah.
These shots were very nice, though.
I'm actually just the best player in Valor. I don't know why.
Sorry, Francis.
What team?
I feel like this is a really easy game to be the replay guy.
Yeah,
just pick whatever Oxy says, play it.
Yeah, watch his clips, you know, in the game, and then also get his camera.
Second time out in the first half for EG.
Yeah, it's actually funny, you know, Oxy, the least humble Valorant player of all time. I just am the best, simply. I love it.
You know what? Good for him.
Good for him.
That rules.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zekken's like, no, I'm not. The difference. Anyways, though, EG, no strangers.
You don't say that outside the server. In the server, you say that.
Of course, Mimi. I'm just... Maybe he is the best.
Maybe he is.
Maybe he's the best. We'll have to see. That's a matchup.
His second group stage match.
Probably. EG, I mean, is this the second time now that Potter's called 2 timeouts in the same half?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's happened a lot with this new EG. In kickoff, there was a couple moments where this had to happen as well, trying to arrest this fall.
They have not shown variance in their setup, but I think they will now. They got 10 seconds to run back over towards A main, but that's going to be the pivot for them. Whether it's, you know, lurking up quickly with a couple of players or whether it is a true ramps dive with a paint shell remains to be seen. No way!
It's ludicrous. And now Oxy's just going to send it with the ult. Goodbye, Joel.
That's just devastating.
And literally a slap in the face.
The problem is there's not that many ways to open up an attack round on split. Like, it's usually some kind of 1-3-1 spread.
It's very different on Sunset with that breach comp. You can do a lot of like early gambits into mid.
Oh my god, another kit close bomb.
They just got 2 players died just through smokes from EG.
That's brutal.
Like, you can't even do anything about that, truly. But C9 came in after the timeout in red. Okay, EG, they've just been doing mid defaulting, so they're probably going to walk into A. It's not that big of a surprise. Let's go for the spam on the first cycle.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is how often Cloud9 is changing the start of rounds, right? They're setting up these mid-trap plays. They're setting up these reclears into A main. They have so much variety that EG is kind of at a loss of where to call in the early round.
Look at how C9 have completely crunched in onto
seconds
EG. Every single gap is being watched. Maybe they have a chance to fight their way out. Actually, Derek has found the gap. A site is open, but Oxy's going to be up in heaven so quickly.
He has a nade. He has a Roomba. Something tells me the man's not going to slow down.
10 seconds left.
Or a change. Discipline. He'll re-wrap through main.
Yeah. Vanity pulling the strings on this round, bringing him to re-clear out through ramp. Vanity now spotted. They know Oxy as well coming in from ramp. 2 players backside. EG have to bring the fight to C9. The spam comes in, a wide swing from them, but Oxy has slipped the net. Back into elbow. Now it's C9, the ones pinching into Evil Geniuses. Superman gets 3 on the round, and Derek is there to close.
Good on by EG, like good save. It was 2v4.
After another drought.
They find the sky, realize that
Remember
like
the position we were in halfway through that round. 2
A3
EG
and
players
they win
spawn,
the 2v3.
enclosed on all sides.
2v3.
But they get this massive kill and find the pivot towards A.
And they were caught in the mousetrap, right? I mean, C9 got all these spam kills through smokes, and then they found themselves corralled 4 players around them. But Superman and Derek worked together, isolated the one, opened up that path over into A. Emmy's not happy with that, and he shouldn't be. That's a 4v2 advantage tossed away.
C9 again exploring towards A main early in the round. As EG just waits for the smokes to fade and now start to contact up. I could get crunched on here. There's a flash ready to go from Zeppa. Oxy's holding this angle, and it's beautiful. The flash is second too late. Apoth loses his head, and that nade will not flush Oxy out. Cloud9 escape.
EG getting torn apart on these defaults. The reaction is to go quickly up in towards Mail and ult into spawn. That's going to be canceled. No way you can stick that through. But C9, the rotates are so instant on split. They've got 3 players into B already. EG realized they can't accelerate into that site. They've allowed Derek to stick around maybe to peek for a kill, but eventually call it back into A.
Jaw 2 satchels, but paranoid for Vanity. How much can he get done in backside? EG surrounding him. First shot found Jaw there for the second, and he's going to excel in with the ultimate. No one to really find this connection, but it buys time, buys space, but not for Derek. He's dead in heaven. It's a 3v2. Cloud9 regained the advantage, and they're ready to prevent this heaven rewrap.
Now EG have to hunt Super looking for Rooney, but it's just not going to work. Jaw forced behind the smoke, and Rooney kills him through it.
The way these rounds are ending is just so brutal for EG.
C9 have completely solved the A main area of the map.
Yes.
And I think it's because EG refused to throw their Viper Wall on this side, right? So the difference between a Viper Wall over towards A as opposed to the Cypher cages is the Viper Wall you can use multiple times inside the round. EG, ever since the timeout, have been popping both their cages very early and trying to scale off of them. So all C9 are doing are putting multiple players around those cages, fighting them as they go down. EG are not going to be able to make any headway into this ramp space unless they commit more utility. The lurk is never going to work for them as long as C9 continue committing players into that space.
And that's such a change from the first map of this series. All the way back on Lotus, it was APOT's lurks into B with just a cage, just a little bit of utility punishing. But here on Split, C9's protocols to deal with it have been real good.
It also just seems like EG have not been using any of their stuff over towards B. It's always been these split B hits.
I don't think they've really gotten a lurk in, even though they're throwing this wall constant.
And it's because they're not actually throwing like the Jong QT lurk orb. Usually that orb drops there, but they're throwing it much deeper onto the site to block off any backside player.
Sure.
Poison's off.
So you can't actually step out of main so
and look
easily.
at the setup. They're threatening with this wall up on B, but there's trips, there's a cam. There's still info there for C9 to know no one walked through, which means they have lots of players ready to go to punish in mid.
Look at that, Superman TP's up with the judge, but he's counter-blinded. EG can't see a damn thing in heaven. They've got the B side, but they're just running into Oxy's crosshair. Oxy gets a third on 3 HP, you're joking.
I mean, this is his 19th showstopper of the game. He doesn't even need to use it. It's a 5v2 anti-eco. He's got nade. Derek's dead. Oxy's on for the ace. Won't get it again. Seemingly the one thing to elude the man. But they win the round. They win it damn dominantly.
Last round in the half.
A quick counter flash there from Derek saves their lives up in heaven. Because it was a nice little play from EG. Again, it's not a failure of a round all these times. It's just minor things happening. It's usually C9 reacting pretty effectively.
But at this level, it is those little things. One mistake, not figuring out one protocol. I wonder what he's saying. Why can't we listen to that?
Why'd we press the mute button? I wonder. EG have given up completely on that A main space. They've realized just not going to work. And the flash doesn't ping anything close, so now this orb going up, they don't even have to look to their left. They just need to scout out that camera, and they do use it to break that. I suppose that orb helps breaking that early camera, as opposed to the one you put out there in the middle. Certainly not a bad piece of utility. Be very effective for fast scaling out into the site. Hold on, what is this? Jawjamo is sticking around in B main, not looking to exec. There's an option there where maybe he looks to do some kind of a fake, but the rest of his team is already back over to A. Vanity's got an op in screens, posted on the line. Dog doesn't have the range.
Nope. But Vanity doesn't have the shot. Misses his mark, will pick up the rifle. Zeppa from heaven, that's great spam. APOP, again, a first death in this round as Vanity can be a little too bold on that flood. Leaves it 4v4, but the rocket for Oxy, that's huge.
EG looking to play so far forward with it, but a showstopper out into the back of site. Oxy gets 2! C9 with Oxy on top. Nature just waiting inside of the pit. Derek helps him out, but it's all on Nature, all on him, and it's not gonna happen. Oxy with 3 on the round, and C9 will not be stopped.
The retake is beautiful for Cloud9. Double satchel over the top, circumvent the pit completely, then re-clear through main, deny the heaven reroute. It's so good.
One enemy remaining.
Just nasty.
22 and 6, by the way.
Yeah, in 15 rounds.
I think he's having another game.
12 rounds.
10-2.
I can't do it.
This is looking bleak for EG, but it's not done yet. We have the halftime with GB and the analysts.
Well, let me tell you, that Oxy kid, he good at the video game, ain't he?
That's the hard-hitting analysis people tune in.
That's what people want to watch. I mean, look, I think everyone was excited watching that one. He was just running inside doing whatever he wanted to do. But you got to give love to the supporters, the people who are enabling all of this to happen here. And Wyatt, you know, you got to turn to Zeppa, you got to turn to Rooney here to really be, you know, just the enablers here for Oxy, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you can see it in mid here, how well these two guys are playing together. Yeah. This has just been an all-around, everyone on this team can just do nothing wrong. Every bullet that's going through a smoke is connecting with an EG player.
And it's always a headshot, too.
It's just
insane.
It is actually the flow state.
Yeah, it truly is. It's actually quite absurd, too, when you look at how the series is played out. We were talking about an EG outclassing C9 in map 1. And now, as we fast forward to the end of the series here, Shazam, it feels like C9 are just returning that favor.
No, definitely. It's flipped the script from Lotus. Like you talked about, Zeppa's setting up Oxy towards A main. They're denying any A main lurk, any info. EGs keep trying to do this double lurk with the Viper Wall B.
It's not working.
No, it doesn't give them any options later on. I think I'd rather have them do that Viper Wall on A and be able to do some sort of lurk later on, because right now the early aggression is just stopping all of it.
It just goes to show the conversations we were having earlier after Lotus and stuff. It just goes to show we have no idea what we're talking about. Throw it all away.
You know, I think that when someone like Oxy shows up and just pops off, it's hard to break it down, you know, because he's just pounding. That's all he's doing.
I mean, the kid's walking on air.
He really is. No, wait a minute. No, I cannot enable these slanderous jokes. How could you? No, but honestly, man, Oxy just seems like the unstoppable force right now, and somehow, some way, EG's got to try and find a way to stop him. I don't know if they can. Let's send it back.
Thanks, I guess, GB.
Yeah, I guess.
No more jokes, please.
No more jokes.
Actually, I don't know why I'm giving. That was Doug's fault.
That was Doug's fault,
GB,
yeah.
I'm just used to him being the
You're
bad
giving
joke
him a
guy.
raw deal.
Sorry, GB.
Not chill.
Didn't
Okay.
deserve it.
Back
Last
to
stand.
Oxy watching simulator. Oxy's been given this ghost, was allowed to purchase light armor and a couple of satchels.
Little raid boss action.
Gotta love that.
Bit of a trap and mid set up here. Once the smoke falls and they hear noise close, it'll be a nade, a dog, and then Jojimo ready to fight off of it.
EG simply must win this. There goes Jojimo out on the track, but C9 have backed away. They've dodged away the mid-aggression effectively, and that's something EG never managed to do in the first half.
That's so much util gone early in this pistol round. And you see, this is that John QT setup.
Yep.
That threatens that lurk a lot more. You can get really close and then pop through that smoke.
Puts a lot of pressure, makes you need two pairs of eyes watching both edges of those smokes. Now the wall goes up, trip is broken, wall down, and C9 are already in the back sight.
So now it's a retake, and EG have no initiator utility. They're just flooding into their death.
Spike planted.
Only 2 left.
It's gotta be Nature. He was so great for EG in their losses last week, putting up insane numbers.
Here.
As the push comes now into Derek. 2 players watching him. Nature caught walking out. C9 don't even blink.
The way they're playing that post plan, ready to disrupt the retake, fighting forward. Those are the fundamentals that we see from all of the best teams. You cannot sit back, let yourself get ran over by initiator utility. If you stall that first wave against a solo Skycom, you basically win the round at that point. And they did exactly that, but even then, they're still proactive. They still have an X-Layer, repositioning completely on site. It's so clean.
There's no slowing down now in this game for Evil Geniuses. Light armor stingers on everyone. Looks like they've got most of their utility. This buy could be a lot worse for them. But it's still not going to be easy, not with long-range guns for C9. You'd think their best bet would be looking for another option to look for a trap play, something similar. Instead, it's to fall pretty heavily out of that mid space. Reposition back over towards P. Bunker in on that B site. EG need a hero.
Could it be Jojimo? It's got the nade, a stinger.
Dog actually re-clears mid right now. Evil Geniuses know that space is open, and they're fully focused on B main. Good timing of that molly. Stalls out the hit from C9, and they're out. They're definitely anticipating the stack on this side.
The issue, though, for C9 is they never had a lurk towards A, so they have no info on this side of the map. There's 2 players and a trip ready to go.
EG heard 3 players over towards B, but already left. Derek is repositioned up into A heaven.
This could be a winning position for EG. The crux of the round is Superman on site. He has a trip to play off of. He has paranoia to delay. Oxy getting ahead of it, just diving all the way through, disrupting the player close. Super gets 1, 10 seconds. Plant needs to come down, but C9 have already picked up 2. They have sight.
Left.
Spike will be planted. And now the gun advantage, massive for C9. 3 stingers for EG. Apop looking for it quickly, but there's not enough bullets in these things to kill 4 players. Oxy gets the first, Oxy gets the second, and Apop is not long for this world. That's 4 in the round for him, and C9 on match point.
And it's over. Damn.
Match point.
Oxy is just destroying. Pretty rare you get to see that trophy. Jojimo, he's the guy who won that. But this time, it is all about the youngster.
Let's go. Come on. One more.
That's my dog. Hey, I'm buying you dinner. I'm buying you dinner tonight.
Deserved. Yep.
What do you think he's getting?
I don't know. It's got to be some like Michelin level.
Yeah.
This is a carry and a half.
He's having his off-bus game. Get in the backpack, guys.
Apop and Derek playing close together here. Derek
Nice
gets the first
shot.
with the sheriff, but is instantly
It's
traded
not
out.
enough.
Good work from Apop, though. EG are not out of it just yet, but the flood is going to persist into the Cypher. Nowhere for Apop to run. He's got to fight his way out of this, and he manages to do it. 3 kills for him. EG aren't giving up.
So Moose, the last man standing, he's shut down too. Great round out of Apop there. But it's 12-3.
I managed to pick up a bunch of weapons too, so.
We talked about a nearly impossible comeback on game 2.
And that was what, a 12-6?
Yeah, it started at what, I think 11-6? You would need 9 in a row.
It's not looking good,
No.
that's for sure. But you know what? It's not a fake comeback until it's a fake comeback. Actually, EG's worst nemesis is the eco round.
Something tells me Cloud9 wins this round. Oxy, hero rifle, 1 off the showstopper. That is a scary prospect.
Losing 2 games to the eco would not be a good look for EG.
No round's easy when you're on a comeback.
C9 sort of taking their time right now. All things considered. Dog intervents, realizing, oh, no trap set up. Maybe we can scale up a little bit more right here. Foxy gets a kill. That is showstopper territory.
They still haven't showed this rifle. Oxy intentionally using the classic there to break the dog instead.
Crazy how Oxy is always getting a buy on their eco rounds.
I love it, honestly.
Yeah?
When someone's playing that well, let him shine.
Shows how much the team believes in him. Hold on a second. Jogamo, I was wondering if he was going to go down the rope as he went for a little peek. Said it's Oxy, flashed off the angle. Stuck behind the wall for now. Good molly to keep C9 stuck in this space, but they may have found an opportunity. Over-rotate from EG leaves Apop isolated once again on A.
But Jaw's satcheling to get back to sight in time. He's now posted on this cross and actually flooding into
Good
elbow.
shot.
That's a danger man dead. Good work from EG. They've kept control of this round.
Last player standing.
Nicely done. I love that fast rotate from Jaw.
I love the way he uses his satchels, because a lot of times it's the really impressive stuff, but also the little things, those fast rotates, kind of timing a weird swing when you're going for a double swing.
And he realizes they're not trying to play retake there. It's low on the clock, and C9 only have things to gain by trading 1-for-1 on that side with Apop. They can pick up that gun, so that's why he's getting so quickly over to support his Sentinel player.
Yeah, you really want to avoid having to play a retake against those light pie guns, because Stinger's close range, those can shred.
100%.
Flawless round there. But this is where it gets scary. Seekers, Rocket. Cloud9 one away from the win.
Those Seekers making the rocket a honing missile. Superman TP's over in the corner. He's been going for this last few rounds. C9 will have heard it with their mid defaulting.
But again, if they pop Seekers into this one, it'll completely reveal this man. Oxy's walking through the one way.
Oh my god.
Bold call there. But it's only 1 for 1.
Worth. Oxy is down. EG fans take a big sigh of relief.
Round's not over though. Jaw on this site. Cloud9. Looking to time this re-hit.
Yeah, no Omen smokes for EG, make it harder to stall out this choke. Actually re-clearing into mid right now and not seeing anything, so Jaw is fully primed and ready for the fight that is about to come.
3 players here. They called the lurk back over. Jaw swings for a re-clear, sees nothing, but they know players are there.
That was the last flash Derek had. No dog either. EG are playing guns only from here on out.
If Cloud9 get into a post plant, the game might be over. EG needs to stay ahead of this one. Be willing to just take some fights.
C9 are going to look for a delayed B split. Heavy into male with 3 players. Seekers to guide them in, but actually it's a ruse. Down into the vents with 20 seconds left, but the Cypher camera sees everything. EG are fully aware.
Same scenario as last round, but this time Jaw is far away. Apoff on the site. He has been the best player for EG, but he's down! They're shooting his body! Cloud9 trying to close this one out. The plant committed. Jaw gone. Nature. What can you do? Nothing! Cloud9 pick up their 2nd win of the season in dominant fashion.
C9 shocked everyone beating Leviathan last week.
And there was questions. Was that a fluke? Was that left flying pad? And EG,
I mean,
not the best form in these last 2
it kind of
rounds,
was if being done.
really proving that they are a team who can contend. There was some clean stuff today. Oxy was insane.
The individual play from Oxy, unreal, of course, but also, especially in game number 2, the mid-round calling, the adaptability of Cloud9 was really nice. And that's the type of stuff that makes me get a lot more confidence in a team, when it's not just the pop-off player, but you can see all the ideas working so beautifully in tandem with it.
Yeah, I love the way that Zeph and Oxy are kind of meshing together as well on that Sky. Right supportive utility for that rookie.
We had some Rooney Sheriff rounds.
Gotta have him.
We had some Andy Bucky rounds. All the signature guns coming into play here today for the 2-1.
I wonder what he's gonna get for dinner.
That's a great interview question. I don't know if he's the one who gets to talk to us after the game, but I've got to know.
I love the vibe of this team, right? Every round Oxy's winning, you see him screaming, yelling with this team. Like, they're up there having fun every time they're playing.
They absolutely are. They're going to be very happy after the start to this stage.
Maybe everyone having fun but Ivy.
Yeah, but you know what?
But you're the coach.
He's not in
fine.
server. Like, coaches, their job is to be miserable.
He's not wrong.
And then lift the team up. But hard to have a frown on your face after a performance like this.
And I mean, man, this does not bode too well for EG.
No.
Couple games in a row now where, you know, you see some early good ideas and then it just slips away. It really reminds me of like beginning of last year. EG Jaw even tweeted that after their last game. And it almost feels like starting again, right?
And you've got the moments to hang on to, right? Like Apoth's lurking was ridiculous on the first 2 maps. 3rd map got super found out.
And Jaw was way better than last game.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is now an EG that in a couple of games have lost early and lost big and not found an ability to show any sort of fight back. And that is going to be something there's going to be a big challenge from, a big hurdle to come over, is can they adapt in a game where everything is dire?
And remember, this is a very short season. 5 weeks, they're starting 0-2. If they want hopes of making playoffs, much less contending for Shanghai, you have to win out from here.
Literally every single series, that's a championship point to be won or lost for that late qualification down the road.
For Cloud9, they've already got 2. Their 2nd win of the season is out of the way. For now, though, Doug standing by with your Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you so much, Mimi. I'm standing by with Rooney after a complete obliteration of EG. I want to ask you this, man. Last weekend's match against Leviathan felt notably more labored, right? You guys go super long on Ascent. This was far from that. What was the biggest focus this week of practice leading into this match?
I'd say we're super confident as a team, so we just need to play our own game and have fun.
Checking
We're
out
having fun.
from the
it's
Riot
pretty simple for
people
us. So as long as we're doing
crazy,
that, it's not a big deal. And we just got to figure out what's going on in map 1 for us, or maybe we just shouldn't pick any maps anymore. Just let them pick all 3.
Was there something about Lotus in particular that you felt like was maybe something obvious that needs to be adjusted or something like that?
The
or was it
fucking
really just
attack
like,
side.
yeah, we
The fucking
kinda lost, we
attack
got a
side
little
was
rolled,
dog shit. It was
GG go next.
horrendous.
Nothing like to the
You have
next
to
map,
fix
but
that
I mean,
shit.
we were clutching, we were shooting, like things felt good. We just threw the little things, and that's what made us lose.
Nah.
So we just, talk
The
about
whole
little
attack
things and go
side
next, and
was
it
dog
worked.
shit.
Yeah, I think when you think
There's
about
no little
Valorant of
throw.
this caliber,
That
it
whole
is those
freaking
little
half was
things
dog
that
shit.
come together. It's funny watching your career so far. One of the little things that you do so exceptionally well is manage to get multiple kills in eco rounds. Your Sheriff has become renowned in a lot of ways. What do you feel like is the biggest contributor to that? Is it people are setting you up, or is it just Rooney being Rooney?
It's actually, I'd say the opposite. Like when we're on eco rounds, when teams are on eco rounds, they usually have a little bit more freedom. If we lose this round, it's an eco, no big deal. Yeah. So I kind of just do extra, and if I'm alone, I'm always confident. So if I make a mistake, who cares? I'm just gonna peek you and see what happens.
Those potential mistakes.
It's
often
the
turn into
underdog
free kicks
mentality.
and things like that. Last question I have
Like
for
you can only win.
Oxy
And you
popped
can't
off,
really
right?
lose
I don't know how many
because
kills he
you're
got. It was
already
a lot.
like
we
gave up
overheard you saying you were
in
going
a
to take
way.
him to dinner, and honestly,
you-
it's the least you could do. Where are
you
you
don't
taking
give up, but you're
No,
like
I don't think
you're
he wants
already
anything
okay
but
with
McDonald's,
the
I'll be honest. Breakfast, dinner, everything.
with the
that's what
fact
he
that
wants.
you're gonna lose
Yeah, that's the scrim Oxy. That's it.
So
30
everything
kills
you
every
can get
game,
is just
like
bonus.
no matter what. So we need to figure out how to make him do it on stage. And today he did in map 2 and map 3. So if we figure that out, we're untouchable.
The kid was nuts. You guys looked awesome. You played exceptionally well as well. Congratulations on the big win. We're actually going to throw it down to the analyst desk. We're going to recap today. We're going to recap the weekend, and we're also going to talk a little challengers.
Thank you so much for that, Doug. We're joined by Vansili here, who's going to be on some analytical duty. Also,
I was not ready for that.
Can we just talk about the fact real quick? McDonald's on for the win. That just kids these days,
Is that why he's always smiling? Because he's having
stop it.
Happy Meals?
No,
Another
no. Throw one at him. Throw it.
Are you
Hit
sure
him.
you guys
Hit
want to
him.
be here?
Hit him.
That's only 50 damage. That's only 50 damage. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, man. Oh, geez, Louise. I mean, overall, though, C9 Shazam just look absolutely awesome coming out of those last 2 maps. And I think, Rooney said, we'll see what happened in map 1, but there's a lot of positives to take away from the C9 roster right now.
No, definitely. Lotus had me a little worried on my prediction, but Oxy stocks are high. Looks like they just cleaned up their game. Honestly, they looked extremely good.
Yeah, they just let the kid just slay. It was beautiful to watch, Wyatt.
Yeah, week 2 of seeing this roster swap that they made between kickoff and the regular season, how much firepower it added to the team, genuinely. Moose and Rooney are really rounding this thing out. I truly believe Moose has been one of the most underrated NA players since, genuinely
Jesus Christ.
forever. I even remember him with LG putting up good numbers against you on set of 2021, all the way back then. That is a super throwback. Yeah, I think he's been finally given an opportunity here to prove that he's a legit Tier 1 player.
Yeah. And just to piggyback on that too, I think also it adds a lot of voice to C9 as well.
Yeah.
Just because he had the IGL experience as that previous roster for C9. So having that extra voice to help Vanity out, to call those mid rounds, also play initiator roles, and he plays it super well. And as he mentioned in the interview with Doug, when it comes down to those moments where he's on an eco, he needs to get stuff done. Even on pistol round, he pulls out a Sheriff and still does damage with it too. So it really adds a lot, not only into the full gun round firepower, but those swing rounds that you could get. You're looking at that sunset round. They won that last round on eco. Yeah. And that was Rooney getting one of them, killing the lurker with the Sheriff too.
With the Sheriff, bro. Kids out there just going for it. But you know what, though? You guys mentioned Moose. You talk about all of these new faces. Well, good news is that we got plenty more Valorant coming at you this week because things are heating up big time in Challengers. And here are the current standings of where we are right now. You got Moist Shopify and Oxygen popping off, and then you have M80 and Turtle Troop holding it down in the 1 and 2 over at Group B. Vancilia, you've been commentating, a lot of the Challengers games. It feels like, we're just seeing, and it's a lot of familiar faces as well. People that I was commentating when I first started covering Valorant, which is really cool.
Exactly. Somehow they just came out of the woodworks and coming back here in 2024 and playing in Challengers for Stage 1. And it's actually pretty nice to see like the competition level that we have currently for Challengers. Yes, it may seem at that point that you want to focus on M80, Oxygen, MXS. I mean, M80, it was that team that almost should have ascended when they played against the Gardenat finals and lost. Like even that season last year, they weren't dropping series at all. They were the team to beat. And unfortunately couldn't close it out. And when they went through roster changes, at least with BCJ coming now into the roster,
no, it wasn't
new IGL with Nitro coming back, and it works out pretty well overall for this team.
FPX
So they just let them skip the beat.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of familiar names you probably have seen if you've been watching Valorant for a long time. Guys like Will, Neptune,
I think
right?
it's FTX
as well on the other side there. Like Dapper playing too, right? There are a lot of faces that people know. And I mean, you know Dapper quite well, actually.
Yeah, no, he's been grinding, man. We worked
burn.
very hard for a couple of years, and I'm sure he's feeling similar to me, where we really feel like we missed out on playing in partnership. So I know he's been working very hard, and I hope he finds success with Oxygen. I'm going to be rooting for them.
Yeah, it does feel like it's, a lot of these teams, and we're seeing them come into the League of G2, right? Primarily coming from Ascension. All these teams are trying to get to this point right here, where we are in the VCT, Wyatt, and I think that it's been an exciting overall Challenger season, especially with the amount of names that have been participating.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wanted to ask you in particular because you were playing against the duo of Verno and Redux, who've been getting a lot of hype because they're both on Oxygen with Dapper. Two players that I know teams in partnership are wanting to get. They're just not eligible right now because they're too young. But can you kind of speak to like some of the guys like those two that you were playing against last year?
Yeah, Challengers last year was extremely stacked. There were a lot of good players and a lot of good teams, especially like Redux and Verno. There are people like, you might do the strat right, play the round right, catch them out of position, and they'll still get away with the round. They'll still win the duels or take off like an impossible fight. And that's like the kind of talent that deserves to be in partnership.
That actually reminds me of like one of the games where Redux was playing against Mata, for MXS, and he was just dodging rockets every single time. Like when you need a speed demon that's just going to be dodging everything, hitting W, kind of like what we're seeing from Oxy today. He's definitely the next to look out for, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets scattered out, or unless OXG could actually just move up together as a group. That'd be kind of nice to see too.
That would be really cool. And again, if you're a big fan of Valorant, there's just no reason for you not to be watching those Challengers games. You get some of the familiar faces that you've come to know and love in the VCT calling the games. Wyatt's commentating, woo! Right?
Yeah, that caught me off guard. Ric Flair moment from Vance. No, but
I'm super excited.
You got the pink on too. Just give him a little fluffs and all that.
Yeah, we're not going to stand up and do it, but yeah.
Vancilia and I both.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm on like Wednesday.
Yeah. Wednesday is it?
Every Wednesday.
Vancilia on Thursday.
Yeah. Wednesday.
This is
Saturday.
the last week of the regular season, the first stage of the regular season. So a good time to check it out.
That's right. No better time than now to go and enjoy some Challengers. So with week 2 coming to a close, let's go ahead and take a gander over at our Alpha and Omega standings, as EG, unfortunately, with that 0-2, will find themselves in 5th. Meanwhile, C9 got
So
that
I guess
1-1.
last week maybe I didn't
C9,
play.
are they 1-1?
This week it
No,
was
they're
loud.
Yeah, they're 2-0 right now.
They're 2-0 right now. Yeah, they're 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
You're right.
And who is it next week? Holy shit, EG and Furia, man. Minus 25, minus 26.
It's all right. It's the post show. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, so of course we'll get that updated. But you can find all the information over on our socials, and as well as checking out like the game. You can literally just go to the game and check out all of the results and all of the the things there. And you can even pick up some of the capsules for your favorite teams. So now, with that being said, we got to talk about what's coming up next, because it's Super Week, which means 5 straight days of matches. On Saturday, we got Sentinels and IVR, and then we got Cloud9 Loud, and on Sunday, we got Crew and EG, then we got NRG and Leviathan, then on Monday, we got G2 and Furia, then we got Cloud9 versus RPGs, they're coming back in for another go. Then we got Sentinels EG, Energy MRVR, followed by G2, Leviathan, and then Crew and Loud.
We're gonna have a full fucking day.
It just sounded like you were commentating a horse race.
I'll give it pretty awesome. Give it to Loud. I like Loud.
They're bouncing back.
You know what? I'm actually excited to see Loud this week. I think
they needed the week off.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Sadok's been cooking. He's been
Guys,
in the lab.
vitality
Theory crafting. I think he's got some cool stuff coming up. But
Looking
overall, though, an exciting week. We got 2 big matches. We got Sentinels versus MIBR.
Okay, so
we got C9 versus Loud. And then, of course, I mean, Crew versus EG and NRG Lev, I think.
Fanatics
Energy Lev is going to be very exciting to see how that's a banger. You got a prediction for us there, Shazam?
Dude, it's cool to
They
see
play
Lev
against
start to figure it out. And I'm really excited
and
about the matchup,
Koi.
but I still think Energy is going to take it. I think they've looked solid throughout, and they're just only going to build up.
Yeah,
And then
I
we
did
have
get
the
word, by the way.
freaking
We got
Giga
the
Week.
standings again this time around. With the
We have
correct
Sentinel
numbers. Look at
MIBR.
C9 go. As they are number
Cloud9
3
now.
with 2-0. But not bad there for Cloud9. A good day's work for them.
Then
I'm
we
gonna tell
have
you, GB, I am so
Luigi.
cooped up after this week.
Energy. Oh, Energy
Yeah, I think they're
Leviathan.
gonna go crazy.
They're going to go cruisy?
Yes. No, genuinely.
Dude, I
Then
love
we
this
have
post show, man. This is my
G2
vibe.
Furia, Cloud9 on
So you got the crew
Thieves,
pink on. Are you with me?
I'm already on the Croupium for sure. I
Then
mean, especially when we had that
Sen
interview with.
EG.
Oh my God. There you go.
Don't do the twirl.
I'm just showing out the crew colors. What can I say, man?
Yeah, when they're not playing today.
Because you know what? Next week, I mean, I'm already hyped up about it as well. Because I mean, even when Kesnet had
And
an
then
interview,
we
he was
have-
talking about it. He was like, "Well, I'm actually my demons. I've been fighting my demons.
Energy
It's not about
maybe,
me anymore.
Yeah.
It's about how I could be a
Wait,
team
the
player." And
Super
it
Week
shows. I mean,
is
this is
like
awesome.
Energy
This is
Low,
awesome.
Energy Leviathan,
That's demon. Look at your face
and
in that too.
Energy
It's actually
MIBR.
amazing.
And we have Cloud9 Loud and Cloud9 100
Vance, I will join you. Can we
Hell
do
yeah,
a
let's do it
twirl?
together.
Can we
I'm
do
so
a
down.
twirl to close out the show?
Right now?
I would love to. Is that something you'd like to do?
You're asking a
Actually,
lot from
I'd
my
like
man.
all 4 of you guys to join me for a twirl. Come on! Come on!
Twirling at the same time.
I gotta hold
And
my
then
back,
we have a
so I know
freaking
what I'm
Giga Day.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I don't know
On
if
the
our knees are going to
20th
make it,
floor.
but we're going to try.
Thickness.
In any case, guys, thank you so
You
much.
have
Big thank you to
Liquid,
Shazam.
Heretics,
Came in hot for a great weekend.
Vitality,
Thank you so much for
Gentlemate,
watching. We'll see you next week.
G2
3, 2, 1,
Leviathan,
hit it.
Pull Loud.
Bye, everybody.
And then the next day you have Fnatic Foot. Freaking BBN Navi. Yeah, we have some Wednesday 24th is like giga loaded.
Spike down. C. One enemy.
Nice. Let's go, baby. Woohoo! That's fun.
Rocket up, finds one. Derek on the trade.
That's my Widow Oxy. Ooh, Oxy!
So fast. No one's looking. EG decimated by Oxy.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go.
Sitting in a molly. It's done.
I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah.
With it for the showstopper out into the back of side. Oxy gets 2.
For EG, but he's down. They're shooting his body. Cloud9 trying to close this one out. The plant committed. Jaw gone. Nature. What can you do? Nothing.
Hey, it's perfectly played. It's okay, bro.
I'm gonna go. Had fun. It was a fun series. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow no games though. tomorrow we have no games. So it will be gaming. Probably some Valorant. I always say that, but I really need to rank up. I need to get back to MLab and ranking up. Because I like the map pool and I like the meta. So I should be playing. But between the PoE League and stuff and the games and stuff and the schedule, it was a bit hard to find the time. But yeah, I have to go back to Valorant. Anyways, stay safe. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.